Come on, Annie. Let's go to the movies.
This is the Cinereelists, episode 699. My name is Kyle.
My name is James.
And my name is Zach.
And we're here to talk, let's just movie lists the entire time. In fact, one large, huge movie list is all we're talking today.
Technically half of a movie list.
Yeah, not even a complete list today.
Technically 1/14th of a movie list.
Well, 1/14th. Oh, wait. Right. Is this part 13 of our 14-part series of our top 700 movies of all time?
It is.
Okay.
No, This is part 1 of our 7-part series. Part 1 of our 7th installment of our
that's what it is.
multi-episode series. And can I just say, I am honored that we have Pedro Pascal joining us today on the podcast.
Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. I had some shellfish beforehand. I got a little puffy. So
You do kind of look like Pedro Pascal now that I think.
I appreciate that.
Have you heard that like out in the world?
Well, so Zach, you have a story first.
Oh, I just got a friend mentioned that to me, and I mentioned it to Kyle, and then a completely different person mentioned it as well. So it's official. Once 2 people mention it.
Someone on YouTube wrote like, "Oh, sorry to see that Pedro Pascal has allergic reaction. Hope he feels better soon." So I'm like, you know what? If you want to compare me to anaphylactic Pedro Pascal, I'm okay with that. I'll take that in a compliment. So
There are definitely worse people to be compared to.
Oh, exactly. Yeah.
For sure.
They're like, what if you're like, yeah, you look like an ugly Harvey Weinstein? I'm like, oh,
sure.
Yeah. Or like, what if ZZ Top went on Duck Dynasty?
You know who I always get? There's like a Christian music singer with a big beard. I forget his name.
Okay.
But I hear it like 4 or 5 times a year.
Really?
That I look like that guy. And then I pull it up. He's just a guy with a beard.
Yeah.
If you're talking white guys with beards, I guess I look like him. But other than that, there's no similarity.
David Crowder.
That's exactly who it is.
You don't look like him, and you have a different beard than he has.
100%. People just see the beard and they're like, "You look like David Crowder," and I'm like, "You. That's the only person you know of with a big beard, evidently."
Although I did pull up a particular picture of him where you do look like him.
Discord.
Just one particular one.
Okay.
Discord?
Yeah, send it in Discord.
Yeah.
I'm curious. I'm curious who my doppelganger is.
Zach used to look like Ed Helms.
Yeah, and I'm bearded at Ed Helms.
You're bearded and the hair is different.
I thought Zach used to get Steve-O.
I've got that too.
A younger Zach, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Steve-O, I've never seen him with a beard. He's always been clean shaven.
I don't know if you can grow a beard. You just may not like have the follicles for it.
Could be. Yeah.
Not like Zach.
No, not like Zach.
We are finally a fully facial haired podcast.
I couldn't put it in the Discord, so I put it in the chat.
Oh, okay.
While he looks at that, I'm going to explain what's going to happen on this episode. Since our episode 700 is coming up, in honor of that momentous occasion, it's a milestone that few podcasts reach.
Really? Yeah.
We are going to count down our 700 favorite films of all time. These are personal lists. It's not a consensus list. So each of us is going to come ready with our top 700. Now, here's the thing. We've done this before with our top 600 at episode 599 and 600. So you have already heard our top 600. So this episode, we're only going to talk about our top 700 to 651. And then next episode, we're going to talk about our 650 to 601.
Correct. Yes.
You got it. Yeah. 100%. Zach, this photo 100% looks like me. He just needs a grayer beard, I think. And then I agree. This very much, the black hat, the glasses, the beard, all those combined does look like me. I agree.
Yeah.
So I guess I can't crap talk all those people that say I look like. Would you say what was the name of the guy? Something Crowder?
David Crowder.
David Crowder.
Yes.
Okay. I just don't like having Crowder in my name because there's another dude named Steven Crowder. Do you know who that is?
No.
I'm happy that you don't know. He is like a far right conservative online personality. So anytime I see that name Crowder, immediately my brain goes to that guy.
Oh, I've seen this guy before.
Yeah. He's the change my mind guy. He goes to like college campuses, much like Charlie Kirk, except he does a lower budget version of it and just sets up a table and then argues with students and then uploads that to the internet so people can rage.
Okay.
Yeah, because, college students, great debaters.
For sure. Welcome to the podcast. Like these guys have mentioned, episode 699. We're almost to 700. One half of our top 600 to 700. Before we jump into the list, because we're going to be potentially talking about 150 movies here over the course of the next hour or so, I need to remind you there's a video version of this podcast on YouTube. Go check it out. Search Cinereelists. Subscribe. Watch while you listen. You could support us on Patreon, patreon.com/Cinereelists. Get extra after show audio amongst other Cinereelist swag. You could leave us an Apple Podcast review. That's free, and we'd appreciate it. Or send us an email, heyguys@cinereelists.com, REEL with an S on the end. Links are in the description of this episode to any and all of those action points. You guys ready to jump into our top 700?
We have to.
Let's do this.
It's a requirement. Zach already described what this is, so I'll go first. Does that work?
Great.
Yeah.
For you guys? All right. Before I jump in, I should just mention that we agree that it's kind of ridiculous to do your top 601 to 700 films. That kind of seems insane. But then when you consider, at least on my side, that I have watched 4,981 recorded movies on Letterboxd. That means my top 700, all of the films in the top 700 are at least in the top 14th percentile of all movies that I've seen.
Yeah.
That's still pretty high.
That's not a ridiculous metric.
Right. The other thing I pulled out of my list, all of my movies in the top 700 are 4 stars and higher on Letterboxd. I have not dipped into a 3.5 yet. So these are all what I would consider good to great movies. Or very good to great movies, for sure. So, okay. Let's go with number 700. We're talking Jackass number 2. I think the only other Jackass movie to make my list is like maybe in the top 250, and that's the first one. The reason why I picked this one is because this is the last great Jackass movie, I would say. Like Jackass number 1 was like an experiment. With part 2, they really turned on the fire burners. And by part 3 and part 4, they were a little bit on fumes. So you could stop after part 2. I love this movie just because I love to laugh. And this movie never fails me. I will laugh even though I've seen it 3 or 4 times in my lifetime. My number 700.
All right.
Amazing.
I will go next. Jackass 2, great way to kick off this top 700 podcast, right?
Number 2. You got to get the poop joke.
Sorry, Jackass number 2.
Yeah.
So I have not quite seen as many movies as James. I've seen 2,700 movies. So my top 700 now is me ranking 25% of all the movies that I've seen. So at this point, a lot of these movies that I'm adding to my list are movies I've seen since we've done our top 5 or top 600. So I'm just going to kind of warn right now, there's going to be a lot of shuffling going on because I was more adding movies that kind of fell into my top 3, 4, 500 than I was just like adding new movies on top of my top 600. That being said, my top 100, 200 is pretty precious. So there's not a lot of movement there, but there might be a couple little dabbles here and there into that. I have also, this is predominantly 4 and higher star movies.
Mm-hmm.
There is a handful of 3.5 stars that are in here, based on like favorites and things like that. But yeah, definitely the majority of these are 4 stars or higher. So my 700 to kick us off is a Kurosawa film from 1952 called Ikaru. This is the story of a bureaucrat who's kind of worked his whole life for the government. He finds out that he has cancer, and he starts to question, what has he done with his life? How has he contributed? What kind of person has he been? And it's a really beautiful movie about a man meditating on the life he could lead and the life he has been leading. And it's not samurais or action. It's 100% drama, but it's still Kurosawa, and he can direct a pretty mean movie.
I considered Ikaru for my list, actually.
Okay, so it almost broke onto your top 700.
It almost broke into my top
Awesome.
700.
Yes. What if that had been your 700 also? Like, what if we bingoed right off the bat?
It's possible. It's possible. It was within 20, I would say.
Wow.
Of my short list, yes. Do you guys think we'll have a bingo this list? Same movie, same spot?
No.
Oh, no. Not same spot, no.
It happened once before, right? With
I think
just you and me, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. My number 700 is a movie I watched with Kyle. It's called Le Trou.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. This is by Jacques Becker, and it is a prison escape movie from 1960. So 4 inmates have been planning this prison escape for like years, right? And then right before they're about to do it, before they're ready, a new prisoner gets added to their cell. So they have to decide, do we scrap the plan or bring in this new guy who we don't know anything about? And they decide to go forward with it. And so it's like a taut, tense prison escape procedural, and it's really good and it's fun. So I enjoyed it a lot. It's called Le Trou.
Zach, that's funny. I consider that from my top 700 also.
Yes.
So
yes.
Didn't quite bingo, but we got close.
Well, just for the record, I considered all movies I've seen for the top 700. I didn't limit it to...
I would say Le Trou was on my short list, though. Didn't quite make it.
Go.
So.
All right, my number 699 is from 2017. It's Valerian and the City of Planets, which is the best Star Wars movie that's not really a Star Wars movie. And super fun. If it's directed by Luc Besson, and it stars Dane DeHaan and Cara Delevingne. Clive Owen, Rihanna's in there as well. And just a really fun sci-fi movie that totally bombed at the box office. And so we will not get more of them, but I still enjoy it. My $6.99.
I do like that movie.
Yeah, super creative movie. Yeah. My $6.99 is a 1965 Western directed by Sergio Leone called For a Few Dollars More. This is the second movie in the Man Without a Name trilogy. This movie is about... like all of his movies, bounty hunters pursuing a evil bandit. And it kind of uses his same cast of Clint Eastwood and Lee Van Cleef, which he used throughout most of his Western movies with The Man with No Name. And this movie is probably most famous for being featured in Back to the Future 3. It is the inspiration that Marty McFly gets to defeat Mad Dog Tannen by putting on the cast iron body armor, which happens in this movie itself.
I was going to quibble with you that that's why it's most famous, but I think you're probably right, actually. That probably is why it's most famous.
I mean, I would say this is the least famous of the Man with No Name trilogy.
Yeah.
So
great film. Yeah. It just missed my list by 2 spots. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, my number 699 is Big Night. This is a restaurateur film. It's 2 brothers. They have a restaurant and it's struggling. It's kind of like a 90s version of The Bear, I would say, a TV show. And it's really great. And it's Stanley Tucci, so it's got the Tucci. And I really like the ending of this film. I think the ending is perfect and wonderful. So Big Night is my number 699.
Nice.
That's a top 100 for me, and James actually watched that on the podcast recently.
Yeah, if you want to hear
it on the podcast,
we watched it together
for the podcast,
live commentary. Yeah, if you want to hear more Big Night discussion, just look up previous episodes within the last 2-3 months. Maybe we recorded that one. So
yeah, not too long ago.
Don't have to go too far back. All right, 698 from the year 2000. We've got Chopper. Directed by Andrew Dominic, the guy who directed the assassination of the cowardly assassination of Jesse. I don't remember. that movie. This one stars Eric Banana. Chopper does. This is an early film for him, and it's a prison movie with lots of, I don't know, exercise yard shanking and prison politics and, just all kinds of ugliness, I would say. Really well acted, really well made, and it left an impression on my brain. According to Wikipedia, it has since garnered a cult following. Since when? I don't know, but it has. My 698.
Kyle, what do you got?
My 698 is a 2021 movie directed by Kenneth Branagh called Belfast. This is a semi-autobiographical movie about a boy growing up in Ireland, sort of at the time of the Troubles starting, the conflict between the Protestants and the Catholics in Ireland involving England. And it specifically focuses on a family in one part of Belfast, in one neighborhood, and they're trying to live their life as things are changing around them and trying to make the decision, like, do we respond to what's happening politically? Do we just try and avoid it? Do we run away? So there's definitely like a strong family conflict there, with also based around a boy who's just trying to be like a 9-year-old during world changing events. So yeah, it was probably an Oscar bait movie when it came out. I don't think people talk about much anymore, but I did enjoy it.
Sweet. Well, my 698 is End of Watch, a David Ayer movie from 2012. And this stars Jake Gyllenhaal and Michael Pena as cops. And we joined them on one crazy shift. And what I really like about this movie is the camera work is very unique, right? So especially in 2012, we were not getting a lot of these like very visceral, the camera is a character in the film kind of a thing. And this movie just has a really action sensibility, and it's really good.
Love that one. It's great. Very gritty. My number 697 is from 2017, and it is Thoroughbreds. This is a movie directed by Corey Findlay, starring Olivia Cooke, Anya Taylor-Joy, and is also the last movie that Anton Yelchin filmed. He passed away a month after they wrapped filming. So I don't think it's the last
pretty
released.
pulpy, James.
Pulpy?
Yeah, it's pulpy.
Did you see Thoroughbreds? I don't remember.
Yeah, it's pulpy.
I don't understand why you're saying that. Why
Is there
I'm saying
are
it's
there
pulpy.
oranges in it, like juice?
No, it's pulpy.
It is very pulpy. It's described on Wikipedia as a black comedy thriller film, which I think it is. Yeah, I like it. It's a weird movie with a weird tone, and sometimes that works for me. In this case, it did. 697.
My 697 is a 2023 movie called American Fiction. This stars Jeffrey Wright as an author who usually writes about Shakespeare, and I think he actually writes about history. And he's not a very successful author, so as a joke, he writes a autobiography about a sort of cliched Black American experience, and that gains a lot of traction, and he leans into the joke to prove a point until the joke almost gets to be larger than his control. There's also a side story, which I really appreciate this movie too, about him and his family. I think his mom is sick, and his brother is played by Coleman Domingo, and trying to sort of figure out this whole family dynamic. And I really like the ending to this movie. It's a unique ending. I think we've discussed it before in this podcast, but it stood out to me as something interesting.
Cool. Well, my number 697, I think, is from 2015, directed by Ryan Coogler. It's Creed. So this is a Michael B. Jordan, Sylvester Stallone film. It's the sixth in the Rocky universe. Is it the seventh in the Rocky universe or the sixth? Did Rocky Balboa come first or after?
Yes,
Rocky
Balboa
Balboa was 6, so this would be 7.
The seventh in the Rocky verse.
And the first of the Creed.
First of the Creed verse. Yeah, the Creed mini verse. And, Michael B. Jordan is a superstar, obviously. And I thought that this had just the right amount of Sylvester Stallone in it. And I really thought this was a really good movie. It had a reason to exist, where some of these Lego sequels or, spin-offs kind of things feel like cash grabs. This one felt authentic, and I really enjoyed it a lot. So Creed 2015, my 697.
My 696 is from 2023. It's a movie titled Past Lives, which is a romantic drama starring Greta Lee, Tia Yu, and John Magaru. They are definitely the prime main cast. Greta Lee is happily married, but for some reason, I don't remember. Is she searched out by her old love, or does she search him out? I don't remember.
She's like talking. She has this online relationship, or she met a boy. He went back to South Korea, and they kept talking online.
Right. It's a drama for adults about complicated romantic relationships, nostalgia, connections, expectations from different people. It's a great drama. If you like great dramas, check out Past Lives.
All right, my number 696 is 2020's Uncle Frank. This movie stars Paul Bettany and Sophia Lillis. Sophia Lillis plays a freshman in college who's living in New York in the early 70s, and she spends a lot of time with her uncle, who's played by Paul Bettany, the Uncle Frank. And he is clearly living out as a gay man in New York City in the early 70s, where it's acceptable. And she doesn't really, think about much about it. Then there's a family tragedy, and they must return home to South Carolina, where he cannot be out. And it's sort of about their relationship as this sort of uncle niece, as well as him coming home and trying to tell his mom why he doesn't have a wife yet. It's not a comedy, it's a drama, but it's a very well done drama. I know. I realized I was framing it as a comedy, not a comedy. Like, there's funny moments to it, for sure.
It's charming, I would say.
Yeah, it's charming. It's really cute, the relationship those two have. Yeah.
You made it sound very serious. It's not that serious.
It's not. No, but I mean, it is about, people who can't be living out in the South. And it's not a light movie either.
That's true.
My 696 is from 1971 by Nicholas Roeg. It's Walkabout. Walkabout is the story of a girl and her younger brother get lost in the Australian outback. And so they need to make it home through extremely dangerous conditions with the help of an Aborigine teen who is on his passage into manhood, where he gets abandoned in the outback as well. The movie is interesting on a plot level, right? How do they survive and get through the outback? But it's more interesting on a subtext level of the effects of colonialism, of the white Australians and the Aborigines, and all that kind of stuff, and coming of age and all those kind of things. It's a really fascinating, beautiful movie. It's called Walkabout from 1971.
Nice. That's been on my list for a while. Now that I know it's your 696th favorite movie, I will bump it.
Yes. Just know there is some animal endangerment. Okay. Because again, they're surviving in the wilderness.
Sure. That's fine.
Okay.
I watch Alone. So if you can handle that, I mean, they're killing moose. And bison.
There's more than in Alone. I'll tell you that.
Okay. Interesting.
Okay.
695. This Is the End from 2013, which you might remember is the comedy starring James Franco, Jonah Hill, Seth Rogen, Jay Baruchel, Danny McBride, Craig Robinson, Michael Cera, and Emma Watson at minimum. Then there's 20 to 30 cameos I didn't mention of very famous people. And it's a party. It's like a Last Night on Earth type of movie. It's a comedy that happens during the apocalypse. It's very silly, pretty dumb. I enjoy it. It's funny. And that's the end. 695.
All right. My 695 is 1990's Dances with Wolves. This movie is directed by and stars Kevin Costner. He plays a Civil War general who gets put on a remote outpost next to Sioux Native Americans. He soon has contact with the Native Americans and starts to kind of see their point of view on how the Civil War, or not the Civil War generals, but the white generals are colonizing the Sioux tribe. and starts to fight for them instead. This is an epic movie. There's much more to it than that, but that's kind of the basis of it. I think this is one of Kevin Costner's best directed movies. Also stars Graham Greene, who I believe just recently passed away, and then Mary McDonnell plays a white woman who was raised by the Sioux, so he kind of comes in contact with her. Essentially, this is Pocahontas or Avatar, kind of the similar story, but on a very grand scale.
Yeah, I just came up with a theory that I haven't worked out yet.
Sure.
Okay, so bear with me. This will be. I'll work this out over the next few years.
Okay.
But there's something about Nicolas Cage and Kevin Costner that feels very similar to me. Except I like Kevin Costner's version of it and I don't like Nicolas Cage's version of it.
You know what I think it is?
What?
They have very similar eyes, like how they look at things.
Yeah, it could be the eyes.
Yeah.
It could be the eyes. They kind of like are not the world's best actors, but they like present themselves as if they are in their films. But like Kevin Costner, like it works for me in a way that
Is it
doesn't.
a confidence maybe that they have?
Something like that. Like sometimes I wonder why Kevin Costner has the audacity to be in the type of movies that he's in, with as dry as he can be, but it works. I like it.
Yeah.
So good pick. My 695, Finding Dory. This is the sequel to Finding Nemo. I think this sequel works. Yeah. I think it connects in with Finding Nemo kind of seamlessly, really well. It's the memento of the animated world. And it's got some good characters. My kids like it better than Finding Nemo, and I don't, but I do like it. So Finding Dory.
My 694 is from 2015. It's The Wave, which is a Norwegian disaster film. I mean, that's kind of all you need to know about it. It's about like a giant tsunami caused by some kind of avalanche or like a crack in I don't know, something or other. I don't remember the details. The point is, lots of water coming fast at civilization. Everybody's got to run and find a place to hide. It's based on not a true story, but like a similar situation in an entirely different country. And then somebody wrote that premise into this particular community. I really enjoy it. If you like disaster films and you feel like Hollywood doesn't do it right with all their like rock-centric, Rocky Maivia centric disaster films, just go jump across the ocean and watch the Norwegian The Wave. It'll satisfy your disaster film itch.
Quick question. Is Across the Pond only a reference to going to England, or is Across the Pond Europe in general?
Oh, I think I've only heard it in context of England.
Okay. So
Yeah.
you can't go across the pond to Scandinavia.
I mean, you could, but you'd be using the phrase wrong.
Okay. My 694 is a 2008 film directed by Gus Van Sant called Milk. Gus Van Sant, excuse me. This stars Sean Penn, and this is the biography of Harvey Milk, who was the first openly gay man ever elected to public office. In this case, he served as I think he's on the city council in San Francisco. And this is about his sort of rise to politics, his rise as a gay man, but also his unfortunate murder at the hands of another city councilman, in this case played by Josh Brolin. So definitely a important moment in American history, but also a really strong performance from Sean Penn. And someone we don't talk about anymore, but Emil Hirsch is also in this movie.
I saw him in something recently, and he was pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, I've never minded Emil Hirsch as an actor, but my understanding is he's kind of a jerk.
Well, didn't he attack a producer? Didn't we?
I think we
that
talked
on the
about this
podcast?
recently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I forget what he was in, but I feel like we watched something. Doesn't matter.
My 694 is from 2017. It is The Big Sick. This stars Kumail Nanjiani. How do you say it? Nanjiani and Zoe Kazan. And it's a comedy. It's kind of like a small little indie comedy that hit with Michael Showalter as director. And it's they have a relationship, and then Zoe gets sick with kind of mysterious illness. And so they go through that illness together. And then there's a lot of like, you know, new interactions with family members, you know, while she's getting sick and all those kind of things. And I found this movie to be really funny. And also I really liked Ray Romano in it. I hadn't seen him in this type of role.
Yeah.
And so I think that this movie was worth the watch. So The Big Sick, my 694.
Nice. Moving on with 693 from 2016, The Nice Guys, which is probably the movie highest on my I really should rewatch this list because I've only seen it once in the theater. I own it on 4K. It's just sitting there waiting to be watched. And I've felt the urge multiple times and just didn't decided to watch something new instead. Anyway, I really enjoy this movie, directed by Shane Black, who had a hand in a bunch of action movies from the 80s, like Lethal Weapon movies and The Last Boy Scout, Last Action Hero, a bunch of them. Lots of movies with Last in it. Also the director of Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, which I know is a movie people like a lot. This one stars Russell Crowe and Ryan Gosling, amongst others. And I don't really remember the exact premise. I see this movie more as like a hangout movie between these two guys who are constantly feuding, I would say, and they're trying to protect a young girl, basically. And they just kind of move around the seedier parts of LA trying to protect this girl. And that plot is probably completely wrong. That's just what I remember. And that's what I'm sticking with until I finally get in that precious rewatch.
No, you're right. I remember this movie more for the interaction between the two leads than for whatever neo-noir plot was happening. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, my 693 is a 2015 movie by good old Steven Spielberg. This is Bridge of Spies, starring Tom Hanks. This is a Soviet War or Cold War spy courtroom thriller. During the Cold War, a U.S. pilot in a spy plane was shot down over the USSR, and a negotiation was made to try and trade this pilot for another prisoner of war that we had captured. And Tom Hanks character was a lawyer brought in to broker this negotiation. And the other party involved in this negotiation is a spy played by Mark Rylance, who is hard to trust throughout this whole movie. It's an incredible performance from Mark Rylance. Obviously, he had been acting before this movie, but this movie kind of broke him out into the mainstream. And obviously Tom Hanks is solid as ever, and Steven Spielberg knows how to make a movie.
It's true. My 693 is Marriage Story from 2019, a Noah Baumbach film starring Adam Driver and Scarlett Johansson. I really liked this film about the breaking apart of a relationship, and it had really solid performances. And it's not a movie that like anyone really talks about anymore. It once it became a meme, it like stopped having relevance, but it was a good movie and really solid performances. So Marriage Story.
Nice. My 692, The Irishman from 2019. Good old Martin Scorsese's Netflix movie. Also is his longest movie of all of them. And one that I enjoyed quite a bit. You've got some of the usual players like Robert De Niro and Al Pacino. Harvey Keitel's in this. A bunch of people. And it's set in the... what would we say this is set in? The 1950s, it looks like. And you've got this community. No, this one is I'm thinking of Killers of a Flower Moon.
Irishman is set like over it takes over multiple decades.
Right. It follows Robert De Niro, who's like a mob guy from like his mid-20s up until retirement age, basically.
Correct. Yeah.
Like his entire career as kind of a lower to mid-level mob guy. And as with most Martin Scorsese movies, I enjoyed it.
He's the guy who claimed to have killed Jimmy Hoffa.
Right.
Yeah. All right. My number 692 is actually a movie I watched because it was on James's top 100. I believe it was pretty high on James's top 100. And that is 1989's Parenthood, directed by Ron Howard. This movie stars a ton of people, including Steve Martin, Mary Steenburgen, Diane Weiss, Tom Hulce, Martha Plimpton, Joaquin Phoenix, Keanu Reeves, amongst other. And this is I would say this is a family comedy first, but definitely a drama also, about different households, all through the same family, all raising children. And you have like Steve Martin, who's trying to raise somewhat of a nervous, paranoid kid. Joaquin Phoenix is the son of a single mom who's single mom whose dad isn't really around. Keanu Reeves plays like his sister's boyfriend, becomes this sage. And this movie is a really nice balance of comedy and drama, and it's heartwarming and also very funny. And I can completely see why James put this on his top 100 if you were the right age to get this movie often on TV or something like that, or on VHS.
Nice.
Okay, my 692, I don't know how to say the name. I'm going to attempt it. It is a Bollywood film from 1995 called Dilwale Dulhania Le Jayange. And
sure.
this was the first Bollywood film that I ever watched. In college, we used to watch this a lot. And if you look on Letterboxd, it has very high ratings. I would say we watched this maybe ironically because we didn't understand the Bollywood genre. And this movie just had a lot going on. The plot wise it's basically like a guy loves a girl, but she is going to be married off because her conservative parents don't want her marrying him, but he's going to fight for her. So he like goes to Europe to win her back. And then they come back to India and sing and dance and stuff like that. It just has so many wild scenes where he's like outrunning an airplane and just doing all these like crazy, awesome things. This movie is just a lot of fun. And you know, like any Bollywood film, it's 190 minutes and it's fun. It's fun. So I'm not going to say the name again, but I liked it.
How many song breaks do you remember?
Many.
Yeah, it's constant.
Yeah.
All right, 691, the beta test from 2021. This stars Jim Cummings. It's directed by Jim Cummings. And much like kind of his breakout film, for me anyway, when he broke out to me, Thunder Road, it's all centralized on Jim Cummings just kind of acting like a madman in long, sustained diatribes. And in the middle of the beta test, which is about a frustrated actor in Hollywood who turns to a life of crime in order to pay the bills, about halfway to 3/4 of the way through the movie, he just goes on this long rant in a parking garage about everything that's wrong with Hollywood. And it's worth the price of admission. I mean, the whole movie's good, but that one scene that lasts like 10, 15 minutes of him just monologuing directly to the camera is just like so good. And the reason why it hits my list at 691.
All right. My 691 is a 2022 movie directed by Ryan Johnson. This is Glass Onion, the second in his, I guess now, trilogy of the Benoit Blanc detective mystery movies. Benoit Blanc's played by Daniel Craig. He is, in this case, a detective who is brought to a tech billionaire's island owned by Edward Norton, and amongst some other sort of celebrities and well-known influencers are all on this island for this party, and someone dies, and then a murder mystery then happens. And this is a kind of a fun satire of tech billionaires, a satire of influencer culture. This movie is a COVID movie. This movie exists in a world where COVID's happening, so it's kind of sort of poking fun at people's reaction to COVID at the same time. And it really was a good sort of encapsulation of the moment. I'm curious to see Wake Up Dead Man, his next movie, and also hoping he moves on to other greater things soon. Both Ryan Johnson and Daniel Craig.
Sure. My 691 is from 2020. It's called Another Round. And this is the Mads Mikkelsen movie where he plays a high school teacher that's kind of also a heavy drinker. And I love this movie because it did have a different sensibility than an American film. Like, it's interesting watching like a Scandinavian film, and it's just a different vibe. And then there's just a glorious like 5-10 minutes at the end that like for me totally made the film. So that made me fall in love with this movie, and so the ending. So Another Round is my 691.
Nice. And that rounds out the first 10 films of this 50 films each episode. And let's keep going. My number 690 from 1997. It's The Ice Storm, directed by Ang Lee and starring, I mean, this is kind of a killer cast for the time. Kevin Kline, Tobey Maguire, Christina Ricci, Elijah Wood, Katie Holmes, Sigourney Weaver. There's just a lot of people in this. Essentially, there's these two families. They get together for Thanksgiving, and over the course of Thanksgiving weekend, the two families become interlocked in a lot of shenanigans, I would say. This is a drama, not a comedy or even a thriller. It's more about relationships and people wronging each other and whether they can get over that. And yeah. Again, if you like intense 90s independent drama, then you probably already seen The Ice Storm. But if for some reason you missed it, check it out.
I have not seen The Ice Storm, so I may need to add that to my list, considering that it is your 690. That's a
for sure
pretty big endorsement right there. Yeah. My 690 is a 1988 Italian film called Cinema Paradiso. This movie is about a filmmaker who is reflecting on his childhood, specifically where he used to hang out at the local cinema and befriended the projectionist and learned all about movies and Hollywood and the movie making process by watching old movies in this old theater. And this movie really is like a love letter to cinema. It's about the power of movies and connection brings to people. And it's just a really heartwarming movie about movies. So if you like movies, which you probably do, and you haven't seen Cinema Paradiso, worth checking out.
I don't think I've seen it.
It is a love letter to the movies.
Yes, it really is.
Yeah. In like a Steven Spielberg kind of way.
It is Italian Steven Spielberg. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. My number 690 is Women Talking from 2022. Do you guys remember this film?
Oh, yeah.
It's a good one. In the barn.
Women
are talking. Women be talking in the barn.
Women Are Talking. It stars Rooney Mara, Claire Foy, Jessie Buckley, among other people. And this is a either Amish or Amish adjacent society. And the women all are gathering together and they have a discussion about what to do about the men in their communities assaulting of women in their community. And it's really well written, well acted, poignant, and engaging. And so I like this movie a lot. It's called Women Talking.
Cool. That's a good one. 689, The House of the Devil from 2009. This is a horror film. It's a very chill horror film. It's a lot of horror fans don't like this movie because not much happens during it. It's directed by Ty West. Greta Gerwig is in the cast. Other than that, I doubt people would recognize the other people in the cast. It's like a weird allegory for like the satanic panic of the 80s. It's like set in the 80s. There's a babysitter in a house and the kids have just been put to bed and then weird things start happening in the house. Or are they? Maybe she's just like inventing things because she's heard a bunch about Satanists type of thing. And it's a good movie that I enjoyed. And that's why it's stuck in my brain.
All right. My number 689 is a 2021 movie directed by Jane Campion called The Power of the Dog. This movie stars Benedict Cumberbatch, Cody Smith-McPhee, Kirsten Dunst, Jesse Plemons, and others. This takes place in Montana in the 1920s amongst a group of ranchers. I believe Benedict Cumberbatch plays sort of a rancher, and then his brother marries Kirsten Dunst, and there's maybe not quite like a love triangle going on there, but there's definitely different motivations people have about these relationships. Cody Smith-McPhee was kind of the odd son of this group, and for a long time, this movie just kind of feels like a very beautifully directed slice of life about a family drama of ranchers in the 20s. But then there is a connective thread that we get brought to the very end. That I think for me is what made the movie work. It's really beautiful, well shot movie, well acted movie for what it is. But then when you get kind of the meat of why these people have this connection, these conflicts, then the movie really came together for me.
Very cool. Very cool. Okay, well, my 689 is Killers of the Flower Moon, directed by Martin Scorsese from 2023. This is Leonardo DiCaprio and Robert De Niro and Lily Gladstone. And it basically it tells the story of the Osage Nation in Oklahoma in the 20s. And Osage people are starting to be persecuted, secretly murdered. They kind of control a lot of wealth. And then, obviously there's racism and people wanting to, have the money for themselves and all this kind of stuff. And so it is the true story of that and what was happening then. And, it's like a Scorsese film with a lot of like, violence and crime, but it's well acted and tells a really gripping, interesting story with good characters. So I enjoyed it quite a bit. Killers of the Flower Moon.
Heard of it?
It's a good one. 688, 2005, Wedding Crashers, which Wikipedia describes as a romantic comedy. I would call it it's not a gross out comedy, a crude comedy.
It's a raunchy
maybe.
comedy.
Raunchy comedy. Yeah. I mean, there's the romance element is very thin. Essentially, these two guys, played by Owen Wilson and Vince Vaughn, they crash weddings because they want to party and meet women. One of them eventually meets Rachel McAdams. The other one meets Isla Fisher, and like shenanigans ensue because they actually like these people and get in relationships with them. And then those people find out that they're frauds, basically. And it's silly. It's dumb. I'm sure it hasn't aged too well over the last 20 years as far as the content. But the last time I rewatched it was 9 years ago, and I gave it 4 stars. So evidently,
you still
it aged all right.
I did enjoy that movie in college. Have not touched it since.
Yep.
So
makes sense.
Right. My 688 is The Incredibles 2. This is the sequel to The Incredibles from 2018. This movie came out. Sure, why not? Let's say 2018. This is definitely a sequel. It's sort of like it's The Incredibles, but now there's more superheroes they're fighting, and Jack is a little crazier now, and it's just sort of like a bigger version of The Incredibles. But it's still a good Pixar movie. A lot of times Pixar can make sequels and they're sort of and this one definitely worked. It gives Elastigirl, I should say, she gets more focus in this movie, whereas Mr. Incredible got focused in the first one. I don't think this movie is quite as good as Incredibles. That's why it's way here at 688, but still a good and enjoyable movie. And I would say it's a better version of Speed 2 Cruise Control than Speed 2 Cruise Control.
Okay.
Because it also takes place on a runaway yacht.
Well, my 688 is a small San Francisco film called Star Trek 6, The Voyage Home. Is it Star Trek 4 or Star Trek 6?
Yeah. The kind of slice
IV.
of life in San Francisco, living in the hills.
Yeah. It's like low concept.
Yeah.
What would it be like if, you go to San Francisco to save the whales?
Save the whales.
This is one of my favorite Star Trek movies. I watched this as a kid. I grew up outside of San Francisco, and I always thought this was a fun movie. I love seeing people from the future in the present day. I think that is a trope that I enjoy. I also like seeing people from the past in the present day. So really any type of time travel is good by me. And I think this movie's a lot of fun. They have to go back in time and bring back a whale to save the planet. So that is the plot of this movie. And it's the original Star Trek cast.
Don't they bring back the whale through space? Are there space whales?
They load it onto the ship.
They put it on the ship.
Okay, yeah. I'm thinking something else has space whales then. Must not be this episode.
You must be thinking of space whale thing.
Okay. I feel like Next Generation did do space whales, But you're right. You're talking original Star Trek, so I'm kind of confusing the two. Some Star Trek nerd out there, please write in and tell me where the space whales are in Star Trek.
Sure. 687, The Assistant from 2019. Directed by Kitty Green and starring Julia Garner, who you might remember from Weapons, which we talked about a few weeks ago. In this movie, in The Assistant, she is an assistant to a movie executive. And the executive is not very nice to people. To most people, he kind of picks and chooses who he's going to be nice to. He's nice to her when he needs something from her, and then at some point he gets inappropriate with her, or she witnesses something inappropriate. It's something like that. And then the question is she going to stay silent about what she saw, or is she going to do something about it? It's very much like 1 or 2 days. It's very like slice of life, just like a little picture, like a little slice of life. That's all I have to say. It's great. If you like Julia Garner, if you like tight dramas focused on one character, that's what this is. Also in our top 20 of 2020, all three of us put it in our top 20 for that year. So I know these guys enjoyed it as well. Check it out. The Assistant.
All right, my number 687 is a 1981 movie directed by Wolfgang Petersen called Das Boot. This is a claustrophobic thriller about U-boat German submariners during World War II. Sort of a hunt versus hunted movie. It's very tense, very good, very in your face. And also, this is my favorite movie watching experience story ever. I've shared this before, but I'm going to share it again. I don't know if you guys remember this. This is one of the first DVDs that I ever rented. I rented it with my dad and my brother, and this is like probably year 2000 or something like that. And we knew this was a long movie because it's like 150 minutes long. So we popped the DVD in, hit play, and the movie starts, and it's like they're being silently hunted. And we're like, whoa, how European of this movie. It drops you right into it. And then an hour later, the movie ends. We're like, well, wait a minute. This is 2.5 hours long. Then we realized that the DVD had a side A, side B. And we started with side B. So we flipped it over and watched side A. And in side A, they're all like happy and cheery. Like, oh, okay, this is a very weird experience.
Incredible.
So
I don't think you've ever talked about that on the podcast.
I have not.
Do you remember that, Zach?
I know that story, but I don't know if he said it on the podcast.
Okay. I've never heard that story before.
Yeah. So again, in our defense, early days of DVD, we didn't know there's a side A versus side B. So
that's hilarious.
Yeah. So I don't know if I've actually watched Das Boot since. So I don't know if I've actually ever seen the movie as intended, but I say the version that I saw was pretty incredible.
I mean,
That's
there's
amazing.
like a 6 or 8 hour version of it. That's great. It's not a movie at that point. It's just a really long show.
This is a mini series.
I considered Das Boot for this list.
Yeah.
It was considered.
It's on my list higher. Way higher. Yeah.
There's ones you guys have mentioned. We definitely will have some, not like placeholder bingos. We'll have some mention bingos for sure on this list.
Okay. My 687 is Come to the Stable from 1949. This is
my 687 is Come to the Stable.
It starts with Loretta Young, but it's about two nuns that go to a small New England town called Bethlehem, and they are trying to raise money. Yeah, does that, are you making any connections there? They're trying to raise money from people in the town to build a children's hospital. And they're very funny. They're like, they drive a Jeep like wildly, like out of Fast and Furious. And
yeah, it's great.
Yeah. They're real funny, and they're really good at like manipulating people to like pay for this children's hospital kind of thing. And they're great. And the movie is just so utterly charming. It's incredibly charming and good natured. And I think it's a hidden gem. I really like it a lot.
Nice. I'll have to add that to my list. We are on 686 from 1979. It is All That Jazz, which I watched fairly recently. First time watch for me. I really enjoyed it. It's directed by Bob Fosse, starring Roy Scheider, Jessica Lange, and others. It's about a stage production Roy Scheider kind of plays the producer, director, choreographer, and I think he also starred in the stage production. And he kind of goes a little bit insane. He's like so driven to get this done. He kind of loses his mind a little bit over the course of the movie, and there's this final sequence of like what felt like 20 to 30 minutes that is just like a what do you call it when you're like tripping during the day?
Like a psychedelic experience.
Yeah, maybe. I think
Daydream?
he's sick and like on the verge of death, and
Fever dream.
Fever dream. That's what I'm looking for. It's like a fever dream watching it, and it really impressed me. I don't have a lot of context for Roy Scheider other than Jaws 2. I'm sure I've seen him in other things, but those are the only movies I can think of where he's the star. And so this was a new experience for me to see him in the context of like a Broadway guy. And that was fun as well. And I thought it was great. All that jazz. If you want to hear more about this, 10 episodes ago, we did a top 10 last 10. I talked about it a bunch there. Go check it out.
He's also the star of the sequel to 2001: Space Odyssey 2010.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We got to make that like a week where there's nothing going on. We got to watch that movie.
I haven't watched 2010 in 30 years. I need to watch it again. Okay. Yeah. I want to watch it again.
Sure.
So
have you seen that, Zach? 2010?
No, not yet.
Oh, you haven't seen it.
There we go. There would be two people that have never seen it and you don't even remember it. So,
and we can wait. Can we also discuss 2001: Space Odyssey? Might make it a double.
No.
Because what podcast has discussed that movie before?
Yeah. I don't know why that movie would come up while we're discussing 2010.
All right. My number 686 is The Three Musketeers: D'Artagnan. This is a French movie from last year, or sorry, 2 years ago, 2023. That was the first half of the Three Musketeers story. And the story of the Three Musketeers is you have Porthos, Athos, and the third one, Aramis. There we go. Porthos, Athos, and Aramis are the Three Musketeers. They are sort of revolutionaries who fight for the king in France in the late 18th century, and D'Artagnan wants to join their group. And there is conspiracy, there is the church involved, there's murder, there's a king who's being conspired against. It's a really great story by Alexandre Dumas, and I thought this movie was an incredible adaptation. It captured, I think, the sort of the pageantry of the era, as well as giving it a modern action lens to the Three Musketeers story. That was sadly fumbled by the next movie. I can't remember. That was Lady de Winter or whatever it was called. So this one, good. The next one, it was fine, but won't be making my top 700.
Nice. My 686 was a listener suggestion that I watched and liked. It's That Thing You Do, directed by Tom Hanks, starring Tom Hanks.
Had you never seen that movie till like
I had never seen it.
When it came out? You didn't see it?
No,
we were like 13. That was I'm shocked.
No, I didn't see it until 2016.
Wow, I'm learning something new about Zach today.
I was the last person to see this.
You were.
I had heard the song. I didn't know it was from this movie.
Did you think it was like a legit song or like a real band?
It is a legit song.
No, but did you think it was from a real band though?
Sure. I assumed like a one-hit wonder or something, but it's a great song and it's a great movie. It's fun. It's, kind of like, watching the Beach Boys, and it's great. It's a lot of fun, and I like it a lot. I love Steve Zahn in it.
Nice.
Charlize is in it too.
She is.
Yeah. Yep. All right. We are looking at 685 from 2023, relatively recent, Society of the Snow, which, if you've seen the movie Alive from the 90s, I think, early 90s, maybe
early
Alive.
90s, yeah,
early 90s, is a movie about a plane crash in a remote mountain location that I'm not recalling.
I believe it's the Andes in South America.
Perfect. There's a soccer team on this plane. They crash land. They try to survive while they're waiting for rescue, and the rescue never comes. And so they start eating each other. That's what everybody remembers about Alive. Society of the Snow is retelling that story. It's kind of not a reboot, but whatever. It's another version of that same story, but not quite so Disneyfied. It's more like, okay, let's treat this seriously and actually depict how awful this would be just to survive on the side of the mountain, much less the other parts of it. And it's really good. It's a survival disaster movie directed by the guy who directed The Impossible, which is a movie I like quite a bit. Also another disaster movie. He also directed The Orphanage, which Kyle really likes, and I need to get to someday for sure. And yeah, it's a good one. Netflix owns it. It's sitting there waiting for you. Check it out.
All right. My 685 is a 2023 comedy called Bottoms. This movie stars Rachel Sennett and Ayu Edebiri. They play college students who start a fight club to essentially hit on, not college students, high school students who start a fight club amongst their other female peers with the hope of being able to hook up with their female peers through this fight club. But then the whole thing gets just to be weird, where the fight club gets violent and the whole movie takes place in this very heightened high school world where football stars are treated like literal gods. Football is religion. There is, I believe, bombings that happen in this movie. It's all very wild, but also very funny. And I would, if you're looking for an out there comedy, Bottoms is definitely worth checking out, but it is not a traditional film by any stretch of the imagination.
My 685 is Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. This is the one that has Kurt Russell in it as Ego, I think is the name of the planet. And this one's a lot of fun. I enjoyed it quite a bit. I liked it.
We watched half of that on Friday night until our internet went out.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Great. Which half?
With
you have to ask.
Yeah.
I have to ask when it comes to you.
I give Galen what's called now the Peterson experience when we watch movies, and it's he's starting in the middle.
It's like, I'm so confused.
I don't understand what's going on.
My 684 is from 2022. It's Sisu, which I had already seen, but I got to rewatch with you guys watching it for the first time up in Georgia. Super fun action movie. It's a period piece, I would say. That is not really set in any real, well, it might be set in real history, but the actual acts that happen are completely fictitious. It's essentially an action movie where one guy is the Terminator, even though he's completely human, and he just like dispatches what are they, Nazis? I don't remember.
Yeah, it's Nazis, yeah.
Dispatches the enemy and survives insurmountable forces, basically. And it's a silly movie, but it's a fun one. There's going to be a sequel released here in the next 60 days or so that we'll see if this was worth sequelizing, because I think the first one's a pretty fun standalone experience, but
yeah,
we'll see what they can do with round 2. For now, Sisu from 2022 makes my list.
You know, every time you say when we were up in Georgia, it just cracks me up.
Sure.
Because Florida is the only state in the union that says, let's go up to Georgia.
Yeah.
Like everyone else literally says, even the song is down to Georgia. But if you're in Florida, you're going up.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, all right. My 684 is another 2023 film. This is Priscilla. This is directed by Sofia Coppola. And it is the story of Priscilla Presley, who was Elvis Presley's young wife. And it is sort of the story of Elvis, but told through the eyes of Priscilla, who met Elvis when she was 14 years old. And he was, I don't know, in his 20s, an adult. And he was a friend of hers for a while until she was of age. And then they got married and was kind of locked away, even though she thought she could have this amazing life with this huge star. At least through the eyes of this story, Elvis is very controlling, played by Jacob Elordi. And like any Sofia Coppola movie, it is a vibe movie. And to ladies walking in late, this is not the Eras Tour. You're in the wrong theater. Please leave.
Yes, that's the movie.
That's the movie.
My 684 is Baby Driver, an Edgar Wright film from 2017. This movie's just fun. I like the music, how it like syncs up with the driving and the editing. I liked Lily James and her like flirtation with Ansel Elgort. Is that how you say his name?
Sounds right.
Yeah, and it's just a fun kind of heisty crime movie.
I like it.
Yeah.
I wish it wasn't tainted by that one dude.
I know.
But
It's too bad.
other than that, 683 from 2017, Revenge, which is a movie directed by Coralie Farget, or however you say her last name, who was the director of The Substance, which we all liked from last year. This is the first movie I saw from her, one that I revisited this year. So I've seen it twice, and it grew on me the second time. It is a revenge thriller, I would say. The first part of the movie, like the first 30 to 40 minutes, is pretty brutal, I would say. This woman, she's out in the middle of the desert with these two guys who are hunters, and she's the girlfriend of one of them. And the other guy takes, I'm going to say takes advantage, but R words her, I would say. And her boyfriend, instead of defending her, decides that they need to just get rid of her. And so they try to get rid of her. They're not successful. And then she takes her revenge. And it's a pretty harsh movie, I would say, from a content perspective. The reason why it's notable is it's so well shot, very realistic, and there's this final scene where she's chasing a guy around this small this small house in the middle of the desert, and the camera work, the freneticness, the kind of loop they're doing around the house, like it's not a huge house, so they're just kind of looping around the kitchen table, the small hallway. It's just like constant movement and yelling and things happening, and it's just very, very well executed and effective. And like I said, it's growing on me. I want to watch it again at some point. Revenge from 2017.
All right. We have hit an interesting point in my list.
Okay.
Like I mentioned earlier, I have now ranked 25% of the movies I've seen.
Mhm.
So my top 700 is not set in stone. It's very flexible. And I've seen a couple hundred movies since we did our top 600. So some of those movies that I have seen since the last time have actually slotted in higher. So from here on out, the majority of the movies I'm going to be mentioning, I'm going to mention briefly what my number is in the top 700, but it's a movie that I've mentioned on a previous episode that used to be in my top 600. So I'm also going to then talk about the new movie that got added to the list, which essentially bumped this up, if that makes sense.
Yep.
So, okay. There still will be some actual new additions to the top 600, but a good chunk from here on out are going to be slotted. So my 683 is my old 600, which is The Irishman, previously mentioned. So the movie I want to talk about instead is my new 595, which is Amélie from 2001. This is a French movie starring Audrey Tautou, and she plays this woman named Amélie who lives in Paris, a young woman, and she is sort of just experiencing the world around her through other people. She's kind of living vicariously through the other people until she eventually starts to find her own self and her own love, in her own life that she can live by. And this is a very, I say, artsy movie, definitely an independent film. And I don't want to go as far as to call Amélie a manic pixie dream girl, but she definitely has that energy of like this character who appears in your life, changes your life for the better, and then disappears. But this movie takes a step further by saying, well, how can she make her own life better, not just those around her? It's a movie that Megan and I watched several times when we were first dating, because it came out around that time we started seeing each other. And I've not seen it in a long time, but I have fond memories of.
Nice.
Yeah, that's a great film for sure. My 683 is The Aviator from 2004, another Martin Scorsese film. I think a lot of people have seen this. It's Leonardo DiCaprio playing Howard Hughes. And yeah, it's a good movie of a very interesting character. So The Aviator.
You finally saw it.
I know, finally.
My 682 is from 2022. It's a documentary titled Navalny, which focuses on, what's his name? Alexander Navalny, I
Yes.
think. Yeah. Alexei Navalny.
Yeah.
Alexei Navalny, who was a politician in Russia who opposed, what's his name? Putin, right? And he was easily the highest profile dissenter or whatever
Opposition party
political opponent,
Yeah.
basically. And he, in this documentary, kind of details the harassment his family has gotten from the government. And he's not necessarily afraid, but aware that like at any time they could kill him or throw him in jail or do all kinds of horrible things to him and his family. And yet he's still speaking out because he believes in what he's saying and he thinks the Russian people deserve better. And the movie's great. The postscript is they did jail him and then he died in prison. And so it's a different document now than it was when they originally released it, for sure. Now it's kind of a document of a guy who was right. You know what I mean? He was so right about things that they had to get rid of him, even though he predicted it. They did it anyway. And that's kind of where we are with Putin at this point. He really doesn't care if he does the thing everybody expects him to do. And I don't know for sure he did it, but come on. Who are we kidding? Navalny.
How many Russian oligarchs have fallen off of balconies in the last couple of years?
Yeah. It's crazy and very sad, but a very good documentary about what seemed to be a decent person.
Yeah. My 682 is my old 599, which is Run. So my new movie to this list is my 589, Nights of the Living Dead. This is the 1968 movie directed by George Romero. This is his first zombie movie about zombies, about the living dead waking up from their graves and terrorizing a city. A group of survivors huddled together in a farmhouse to try and wait out what's happening because no one actually knows what's happening. This movie has some good practical gore effects for the era. Definitely some social commentary. The main character is black, and I think that is very much on purpose from George Romero when he was writing this movie. And I mean, he's the father of the zombie genre. Obviously, he's not invent zombies, but he definitely made it the thing that we have today of the slow moving Walking Dead.
Yeah, for sure. My next film is Ghost Dog: The Way of the Samurai.
Yeah.
The Forrest Whitaker film. He plays a hitman who fancies himself in the model of a samurai. And I love that imagery that he has of the samurai, the modern hitman. Anyway, he's targeted himself by the mob, and so he's got to stay alive, kind of a thing. Anyway, it's a really cool film. I think it's really cool. And Kyle, are you the one that recommended this to me?
Yeah, this is the top 100 movie for me. Yes.
Yeah, like it a lot.
What I love about this movie, amongst other things, is the mob are a bunch of buffoons.
Sure. Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
They're not cool guys at all.
What's the name of it again?
Ghost Dog,
Ghost Dog.
The Way of the Warrior.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen this. It's been a while, but I have seen that. 681 from 2024. Megalopolis. Hit my
All
top
right.
700. This was a 4-star movie for me. I know a lot of people don't like it. It's a messy movie for sure, but I like the mess sometimes, and this is one of those for sure. Famously, Francis Ford Coppola spent a lot of his own money to make this movie, mostly his own money, and it bombed. Will probably go down as one of the most expensive movies from a box office to production cost perspective. And it's not much to be said about the movie itself, other than if you like messy movies with high production values, that is Megalopolis for sure. Very campy acting as well. Also, there's a new documentary out called Megadoc that I cannot wait to see. It was
Yes.
filmed independently of Francis Ford Coppola, and people are describing it as The Heart of Darkness Part 2.
I'm very excited for Megadoc.
Yeah, if it's anything as good as Heart of Darkness, I cannot wait for Megadoc.
I also cannot wait for Megadoc.
Yep.
My 681 is my old 598 Ed Wood. So instead, I'm going to talk about my new 586, the previously mentioned Another Round. And
Nice.
I have nothing to add. I think this is right, a different take than an American movie. I love the Mads Mikkelsen performance and his friends, and the ending is one of the best film endings I have seen in a long time.
Yeah, isn't it fun?
It's great. It's a great ending. Yep.
All right. In that case, I am utterly forced to tell you my next film.
Please, if you
My
must.
681. It is Uncut Gems.
Nice.
This is the Adam Sandler stress-inducing film where he is a jeweler and he doesn't know when to quit, right? He's basically a gambling addict and he keeps pushing harder and harder, digging himself in a bigger hole in order to make, the score of a lifetime. And I like Adam Sandler in non-comedic roles. I think he's a really interesting actor that makes really interesting choices. And Uncut Gems is a Safdie film, and it's great.
Is The Cobbler higher or lower than this?
Higher.
Okay.
Yeah.
Of course. It's
Higher as in closer to 1.
I love The Cobbler.
Yeah.
Makes no sense. 680
Love it.
Mission Impossible 3 from 2006. I mean, you've either seen this or you haven't. There's nothing I can say that will change somebody's mind. I enjoy it because it leads into probably his most this is probably the most personal Mission Impossible movie, in my opinion, as far as like the plot of the movie makes Ethan Hunt, it dips into Ethan Hunt's personal life. Also, you just have a killer big bad in Philip Seymour Hoffman. And one of my favorite Mission Impossible movies, Part 3.
Nice. All right. My number 680 is a new movie to the list. That is 2024's Nosferatu, directed by Robert Eggers, who is one of my favorite working directors right now. Everything he makes, I think, is super interesting. He's definitely has an eye for an art style. This is a retelling of the Nosferatu story from the 1920s about a vampire that comes to a village and decimates said village. Specifically, he comes in search of a woman. This woman's played by Lily Rose Depp, the daughter of Johnny Depp, who I found to be quite good in this movie. And then it's a Skarsgård who plays the actual Nosferatu. I think it's Bill Skarsgård. And he just plays a really creepy vampire. And I love the gothic horror look of this movie.
Nice. Okay, my 680 is Midsommar. Midsommar, a Ari Aster film about a cult, a Scandinavian cult in Sweden, I believe. Florence Pugh visits it and is kind of intrigued by the whole, charm of the cult. And I mean, it's undeniably an interesting film, right? It's a little bit of a hard watch, but it's an interesting film. And I really like Jack Rayner just in general. So
yeah,
Midsommar, my 680.
I might be forgetting the details of the film, but his character, sure, nobody deserved it, but his character felt very innocent in that movie. You know what I mean? And so what happens to him felt really not cool. Let's just say that.
Yeah, he's just being the good boyfriend.
Yeah, I think there's more things that make him a little more complicated than a good boyfriend, but certainly not what the end he meets.
Well, good as in the sense like he was going to break up with her and then tragedy struck. And
right.
He's like, all right, come with me to my vacation.
Right. Okay, 679, Her Smell from 2018.
Ooh, yeah.
Directed by Alex Ross Perry, who is kind of like indie film royalty at this point. He's directed a bunch of movies that if you're into him, you know the names of. If you're not, you've never heard of them. Her Smell, though, a good one, a good starting point for Alex Ross Perry for sure. This movie stars Elizabeth Moss, Cara Delevingne, Dan Stevens, Amber Heard, amongst others. focus is mainly on Elizabeth Moss, though. She's kind of a rock star who is very full of herself. Most of the movie takes place backstage before one of her concerts, and she is just a rock star mess, I would say. They're drugged out. She's fighting with her ex over, their child, or there's a child mixed into this. And again, another slice of life movie. This one's a little more intense because it deals with addiction and delusional people and ego and all those kinds of things. Just really, really well acted and raw. If all that sounds appealing to you, or you like Alex Ross Perry movies and you haven't seen this one, you should definitely check it out.
That movie's also like only 6 very long scenes.
Right.
Yeah.
They're not one take, but like 6 different setups, basically.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah.
It's crazy that it's just 6 scenes. Speaking of oneers, not my 679, which is my old 597 Avatar Way of the Water. Instead, I'm going to talk about my new 585 1917. This is a World War I movie, I believe, about British soldiers who are sent to deliver a message from the front lines. And it all takes place over what appears to be a grueling day. That's presented more or less as one take. Obviously, it's not a single take, but it looks to be a single take. This is directed by Sam Mendes. It's definitely an achievement in filmmaking. It's even more an achievement, I think, for Roger Deakins, the cinematographer. This is sort of a culmination of a huge career he has had. And this is a movie that I need to give a second shot to because I had a weird hot take for a while about fake oneers. I think I'm over that. I don't know why that was a thing I had. I'm like, oh, you can see the scenes. Over it?
Oh, that's great.
It's what's the point? Why be mad at fake oneers? Like, what am I proving here? Like,
I don't know.
Exactly.
It's a good question.
So I need to give 1917 another look. I still think Birdman is silly for its purpose on being a fake oneer, but 1917 maybe had more of a purpose of why it was doing what it did.
Nice.
I blame Birdman. I think Birdman radicalized me against the fake oneer.
I do think that it radicalized you.
Yes.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, my 679 is from 1932. It is called Grand Hotel. And this is basically like a huge ensemble film that follows a bunch of different guests at this hotel, this fancy hotel. Among the guests are Greta Garbo, John Barrymore, Joan Crawford, a bunch of like famous actors at the time. And there's just a lot of like intrigue and scandal and machinations. And it's fun in the same way that like Robert Altman movies are fun. And I enjoyed it quite a bit. So it's Grand Hotel.
Nice.
My next movie is The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo from 2009, the Swedish-Danish version, not the what's his name? David Fincher version. You could kind of lump in the 2 sequels as well. Plays with Fire and
Kick the Hornet's Nest.
Yeah. All 3 of these are really good. The first one's definitely good, but the follow-ups are fine as well. Super good. I mean, these movies, it's such a shame that here in the US, like, we only got one of them because there's more story to tell for sure than what Fincher got to tell. And it feels like we're not getting another one. We're not getting the other 2 here in the US at this point. I'd be surprised.
I thought it got a sequel, but not with Fincher or anyone main from it.
I believe they rebooted it again.
Oh, they did? Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what it was.
I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's true. Changed the main actor and just basically remade the first one.
Sure.
This one's really good, though. And it's just waiting for you to watch. If you like procedural crime dramas, this kind of plays like a miniseries. If you watch them back to back, like 2-hour episodes of a miniseries, if you think of it that way, it's like one of the best crime procedural miniseries you could imagine if you watch it with that frame of mind, as opposed to, I don't want to watch 3 movies, something. Just think of it as a television show on Netflix that you can binge. Really good. Go check it out.
All right, my 678 is my old 596, Emily the Criminal. So instead, I'm talking about my new addition to the list, 583, The Silence of the Lambs. I don't know why this was on my top list originally. I kind of looked at my letterbox and saw some holes. I'm like, oh, Silence of the Lambs. This should be on my top somewhere. How about 583? That seems like an appropriate spot for it.
Yeah.
That's where I have it.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
All right. My 678 is Stowaway from 2021. James, do you remember this film?
Oh, I remember this movie.
You remember Stowaway?
Yeah, you can't launch a spaceship into space with an extra person on it.
Apparently, you can. Apparently, you can. Toni Collette and Anna Kendrick are on a spaceship, and then they discover there's a stowaway aboard. And that throws off a lot of things because, they have a limited amount of oxygen and food and all these important things. And so some ethical decisions have to be made. And apparently I like this movie more than everyone else. So
I believe Stowaway's on my list. Hold on. Yeah, 461.
Fantastic. You liked it more than me.
I like it more than you do. Yeah. Yeah, no, I thought it was a cool movie.
Yeah.
I just don't know how you can launch into space with an extra 150 pounds. It just doesn't seem like the math would work out.
I mean, the whole ship itself is thousands of tons, right?
I know. It was another bonkers argument I was making
Yeah.
at the time. I was like, well, this makes no sense. This is like a fly landing on my skin.
Exactly.
So.
Yes.
All right.
All right, James. 677.
677 for me is from 2024. It's Dune: Part 2, which if you want to hear more about that, because for some reason you've never heard of this movie, you should go listen to the episode where we talk about it for hours, literally. So
yeah,
just reach back into the archives. For now, we'll leave it there.
My 677 is my old 595, Decision to Leave, which is an awesome movie. So instead, my new 582 is The Parallax View. This is a paranoid thriller from 1974 starring Warren Beatty. He plays a reporter who is investigating a senator's assassination and gets deeply involved in a conspiracy. This movie is a great paranoid thriller. This movie has some incredible imagery to it. There is, let's just say there's a whole like brainwashing segment that is wild. It's 10 minutes long and it is incredible. There is a scene in a gymnasium, which also, this whole movie is just really a spectacle to watch, and really boils down the era of paranoid thrillers very well.
Cool. My 677 is Saltburn. This is the Barry Keoghan, Jacob Elordi film. Rosamund Pike's in it as well. And it's just a satire about wealth and the desire to join, to jump classes, and what would you do to become a higher social class. And it's really kind of dark and rich, and I liked it. So and at one point in the movie he calls relatives rellies, and now I say that because I think that's a cool way to refer to your relatives. So Saltburn is on my list.
Nice. 676 from 2005, The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Another one that I kind of wish we had gotten sequels to, for sure.
Yeah.
This is a sci-fi comedy based on the writings of Douglas Adams. And I don't know what else to say about this. Sam Rockwell, Martin Freeman, most deaths in it, Zoe Deschanel. It's just a stupid comedy that is really fun with interesting looking characters and a lot of quirk to it, and pretty harmless, and worth it just to see Sam Rockwell chew a lot of scenery like he does in this movie. Really enjoyed. I forget the name of his character. Zaphod.
Zaphod Beeblebrox.
Zaphod Beeblebrox.
Yeah, he is. He's just really amazing in this movie. He's so much fun to watch. It's worth the price of admission, although there's lots of other things that are fun to watch in the big budget adaptation of The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Quick aside, I cannot wait until Galen discovers those books.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, I want to read them again. So maybe when he reads them, I'll read them with them. And
Yeah, I love those books.
My 676 is my old 594, The Way I See It. So instead, my new 581 is The Quiet Earth, which has come up on this podcast a couple times recently. This is about a man who wakes up and he's the only man left on Earth, and why. And we've discussed this on a top 10 last 10. I think Zach watched this as a recommendation. So reach back into the archive if you want to hear more of us talking about The Quiet Earth.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks for that recommendation too. My 676 was a movie that we watched for the same episode. It is Shoplifters from 2018.
That's awesome.
This is maybe as close to a bingo as we might get, although I'm still hoping for a bingo. Shoplifters, we talked about it in the same episode. It's about a found family in Tokyo. They're a bunch of people that are misfits and outcasts, and they cobble together a family, and the movie follows them. Really great characters, incredibly great performances from all ages, and it's definitely worth the watch if you like a well-directed, well-acted drama. So Shoplifters is on the list.
Nice. And with Shoplifters, we are halfway there. We've already talked about 75 movies, and we've got
all right, guys,
75 more. Let's do it.
We're living on a prayer.
675 from 1995, The Usual Suspects. Another movie that's a little tainted these days.
It's pretty low.
Both from the director. This isn't one of my favorites. I like this movie for sure. I think there's something there. Definitely. There's a reason why people like it. But some people like this is like a top 100, like a game-changing movie for them. Their mind was blown when they saw it.
Sure.
And I enjoyed it. But, that's kind of where it begins and ends.
Yeah.
Whereas some people are like obsessive about it. I get it. I'm just not that way, but I do like it. 675.
All right. My 675 is my old 593 Swan Song. So instead, my new 579, the previously mentioned Killers of the Flower Moon.
Nice.
Yeah, this was a great movie. It's an epic. Lily Gladstone's incredible in it. And I think it tells a story of American history that a lot of us are not aware of, about the treatment of the Osage people only 100 years ago. Sometimes you see these stories, you're like, oh, this did not happen that long ago.
Mm-hmm.
Check it out.
My 675 is from 2024, and it's Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. And I liked this movie a lot. I thought it was so epic and Shakespearean, and it just had really great character interactions. And the CGI is incredible what they can accomplish now. It's just insane. They can pretty much do whatever they want now if they have enough money and time. But yeah, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes from 2024. Liked it a lot.
Nice. 674 from 2018, A Quiet Place. It's the first film in the Place franchise. This
you call the Quiet Place franchise. It's not like a quiet place, a loud place, a shiny place.
I like calling it the Place franchise,
Okay.
just to confuse people.
Where does the Place Beyond the Pines slot into this franchise? Is that a prequel?
As a prequel.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
It's
prequel.
yeah.
Okay.
It's a little bit louder there.
The aliens hadn't landed yet. It's a prequel to Quiet Place Day One or whatever that last one was.
Which is a prequel. Okay, got it.
Yep. Okay, post-apocalyptic horror film about a family living on a farm in a world where you cannot make any noise, otherwise aliens will get you, and they'll get you fast. And so John Krasinski, it's his directorial debut. He also stars in it alongside, what's her name that I'm drawing a blank on?
Emily Blunt.
Emily
his
Blunt.
Wife.
They have two kids. One of their kids is deaf, and so they already know sign language, so that's helpful for their survival in this world where you can't make sound. And it's very suspenseful. It's the type of horror movie that doesn't lean on gore or shock to get you invested. It depends on good writing, great characters, good hooks. It's awesome. So far, they haven't made one that matched it, although some of the sequel and the prequel Haven't even gotten close, but they're fun rides in their own right. But nothing compares to the first one. I think it's kind of a modern horror classic, A Quiet Place.
Nice. My number 674 also takes place in a place, and this place happens to be a boarding school during Christmas break. It is The Holdovers from 2023. I believe this is Alexander Payne, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Starring Paul Giamatti. This is about Paul Giamatti is a curmudgeonly boarding school teacher who is tasked with staying behind with the kids who are not able to leave for winter break. Specifically, one kid stays with him, as well as Joy Devine Randolph, who plays the kitchen cook. And this movie is about the softening of hearts during the ice of winter. It's literally heartwarming.
Sure.
My 674 is The Fifth Element from 1997. This is a Luc Besson, their second Luc Besson film that has been mentioned today. Stars Bruce Willis and Mila Jovovich and Gary Oldman and Chris Tucker, I guess. And it's a classic. It's a classic sci-fi. It's good.
Yeah. Valerian feels like it could exist in the world of Fifth Element.
100%.
Yeah.
Feels low though. It should be higher on your list.
I think it's kind of low too.
And here's the thing. I know that most people like this movie a little bit better than I do. I'm fine with this movie.
Fair enough. How dare you be subjective on your subjective list?
Wait till you see what beat it out by one.
Yeah, I really want to know what do you like one better than Fifth Element.
By 673 from 1968, Hell in the Pacific, directed by John Borman, starring Lee Marvin and Toshiro Mifune, big time collaborator with Akira Kurosawa. Like basically, if you've heard of the Akira Kurosawa movie, he was probably in it in one way, shape, or form.
Except for Ikaru.
Sure. Except for the one that we've mentioned.
but besides the one we talked about today, every other
he's
one.
He's literally been in 16 Kurosawa movies, but evidently not the one Kyle mentioned. So Hell in the Pacific. Two guys, an American and a Japanese soldier. They are fighting during World War II, and they crash land on the same deserted island. They begin as enemies, and over the course of the movie, they figure out that there's a good chance they might be the only people they see for the rest of their lives. And so they kind of become friends over the course of the movie. And it's tense. It's a little slightly silly, fun watch, interesting, considering the history and the perspective of between now and 1968. Kind of like how well the United States and Japan gets together now. It's kind of wild that at one point we were at each other's throats the way we were, for sure. It was a good one. I enjoyed it. Hell in the Pacific.
My 673 is my old 592 Moneyball. So instead, I want to talk about my new 576, the previously mentioned Dune Part 2. This movie, pretty epic, pretty good movie, and got me on board with Timothée Chalamet. That's the one big takeaway I took from this movie. I saw this movie as being like, oh, Timothée Chalamet is an actor I see promise in. I know a lot of people have seen this for like the last 5 years, but this is the movie that turned me around on him. So
this movie got you.
This movie got me on the Chalamet train.
Nice. Well, you know what movie got me on the Robin Williams train?
Patch Adams.
It's my 673 Flubber. Yeah.
All right.
This is the Les Mayfield movie. It is a remake of, is it The Absent-Minded Professor? I think it's a remake of The Absent-Minded Professor.
The Absent-Minded Professor, yes.
Yes. Where he plays a guy that invents a ball of goo that gives more energy than it takes. So like if you bounce it, it'll bounce higher and higher and higher rather than lower and lower and lower. And so what kind of madcap adventures can he get into with this flubber substance? Also, the ad campaign for this film is one of the most effective ad campaigns of my life. I still remember the songs from the commercials for Flubber. And it really made me want to see it. I'm glad I did. Flubber.
Is that that's to have the dancing flubber in the commercials, right?
Yes. Yeah.
What was one of the songs?
Goo a little dance. Do a little flub.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, so that's all puns, wasn't it?
This was back in the day of like the gingivitis, like 3D animated cartoons, like ads and stuff like that. It's just great. It's just a great era.
Cool.
I'm hoping for a bingo, James.
No, sorry.
Ah,
672. Red Riding, The Year of Our Lord, 1974, which is just one movie in a trilogy of movies called the Red Riding Trilogy, that being 1974, 1980, and 1983. Those are like the part of the subtitles. So I focus on 1974 just because it's the first one, but really it's the whole series, I would say. And really good. It's set in each movie is set in that year. It's an overarching investigation into a serial killer in the UK. And in each episode, the vast majority of the cast is replaced. And yet there's still like a through line through all three of them. They connect in odd and interesting ways. The cast is pretty great. You got Sean Bean, you got Andrew Garfield, you got Rebecca Hall, you got Michelle Dockery from Downtown Abbey fame. And if you like serial killer stuff, if you like Fincher's what's it called? What's his serial killer movie?
Zodiac.
But you thought Zodiac, the one problem with Zodiac is that there's no ending to it because there's no ending to the actual Zodiac killer. This is the movie for you. This movie has an ending. It comes to a solid conclusion. It's based on a real serial killer, but the events of the movie are fictionalized. So they make it as exciting as they possibly can while also being a crime procedural. Awesome trilogy of movies. Check it out. The Red Riding Trilogy.
All right. My 672 is my old 591 Winter's Bone. So instead, my new set 574 is a documentary from 2020 called Gather. This is a documentary about Native Americans and their connection to food, both from the land, how that food was taken away from them during colonialism, and how they are trying to reclaim their culture via food. So this is essentially a history of American expansion through food. It is a very fascinating documentary. It follows several different indigenous tribes in America and sort of like their history and how they are trying to keep their culture alive. It's definitely a movie where you can see, how like food denial is long-term genocide. There is such thing as cultural genocide as well as physical genocide. I was describing this movie to a coworker of mine very recently, and he's like, "Oh man, it sounds really depressing." And I was like, "Actually, no, it's not that depressing." And then this is what I said verbatim, and it's maybe the most pretentious thing I've ever said. I said, "It's more a celebration of indigenous food than it is an indictment of colonialism." And everyone at the table just looked at me like, "You tool." And I was like, "Oh
Beautiful.
man, that came out really pretentious."
What
Beautiful.
NPR episode did you hear that from?
Exactly. So that's
funny.
the kind of biting commentary and insight you get from a Kyle Peterson work movie recommendation.
That's great. My 672 is The Extraordinary Adventures of Adele Blanc-Sec. This is a 2010 Luc Besson film.
Oh my goodness.
3 separate movies from him on these lists.
3 separate movies.
I don't think I have a Luc Besson on. I feel
This is
left
his
out.
zone. The late 600s is
This
his
is
zone.
his zone. Yes, he dominates this zone. This is a film that I just wish they made a whole lot more films in this type, right? It is an adventure film through and through, action adventure, she is solving riddles and puzzles and traveling around the world and, dealing with lots of bad guys with various motivations. And it's just fun. And she's a female protagonist, and it's a lot of fun. And I I think it's a hidden gem. It's kind of one of those movies you don't stumble across. You have to like get told through whispers from someone else in an alleyway. Said like, you should see The Extraordinary Adventures of Adele Blanc-Sec, and mission accepted. I watched it. It's good. It's on my list.
Zach, while I'm looking up 671, can you look up a sequel to that? Because I feel like they were making one and maybe it came out and we didn't realize it.
I do feel like they were making a sequel. And so I will tell you right now that, in fact, that movie was a book.
All right. My 6.
What a letdown.
71 is American Psycho, which probably a lot of people would rank much higher in a list of 700 movies. I like this movie for sure. It's good. Clearly, it was based on a book by Bret Easton Ellis, stars Christian Bale, Willem Dafoe, Jared Leto, Chloe Sevigny, Reese Witherspoon. It has a killer cast. Mainly focuses on Christian Bale, though, as like a like narcissistic sales guy who's very into materialism and thinks he's better than everybody else. And the way he expresses that is by murdering people, I would say. He's a psycho. So 2 serial killer things in a row for me. And this one, American Psycho.
It's troublesome, James.
Yep.
Troublesome. Okay, I saw a movie trailer yesterday, and there was an actress in there, and I recognized her halfway through because she was wearing like a dark wig. I was like, oh, that's so and so. But I couldn't think of what her name was. Thank you for saying the name Chloe Sevigny, because that's who it was.
70.
Like, Sevigny? Sevigny?
I think it's 70.
70? Okay. Well, either way, she's in the movie coming up with a very odd brown wig. So look for that. Cool. My 671 is my old 590, Spencer. So instead, I'm going to talk about my new 573, Boys in the Hood from 1991. This directed by John Singleton. It stars Cuba Gooding Jr. As a young black man who moves in with his father, played by Lawrence Fishburne, who lives in sort of South Central LA. So obviously this is LA during sort of the height of the drug problem and the gang epidemic. And Lawrence Fishburne is just trying to raise his son to live a decent life while there's all these negative influences from the outside, including his best friend, played by Ice Cube, who is definitely deep into the gang culture. And this is just a really well done movie with great actors about a certain era of American history in LA. I really enjoyed it. And in this movie, Lawrence Fishburne mentions his character says like, oh yeah, I was in Vietnam when I was 17. So I like to imagine that Mr. Clean actually survived Apocalypse Now and then grew up and was in Boys in the Hood. So this is just a sequel to Apocalypse Now. the new adventures of Mr. Clean.
Sure. Why not?
Amazing. All right. My 671 is The Edge of 17. And this is a very easy to watch Haley Steinfeld film. Woody Harrelson's in it. I think he's like a principal. Is that right?
Yes.
It's such a good low stakes character piece about a girl in high school, and they don't make enough movies like this that kind of hit this sweet spot, and it's just a charming kind of movie, so I liked it a lot. The Edge of 17.
Yeah, it's a good movie.
Absolutely. That director went on to make other things that I think we like too. I forget her name.
Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret, which I haven't seen.
Yeah, I saw that. That was good. That was nice. It's definitely not a movie made for me, and yet I still enjoyed it quite a bit.
Yeah.
I recently learned that Edge of 17 is a Stevie Nicks song.
That's where they got the title from?
Maybe.
Probably.
Yeah.
I imagine. 670 from 2010, The Social Network. Speaking of David Fincher, he directed this based on a screenplay by Aaron Sorkin, starring Jesse Eisenberg, Andrew Garfield, Justin Timberlake, and Armie Hammer, amongst others. I'm sure you probably heard of this movie, if not seen it. It's how Facebook began, according to somebody who wrote a book about how Facebook began.
Sure.
So I don't know how, the details, I don't know how real they are or not. What I do know is the movie's very well acted, very well assembled. It's a Fincher movie. He's good at what he does. And this was one of his better, I would say. Also, the first time I think I heard a Trent Reznor soundtrack, and he killed it, like kind of first movie out. Did he win an Oscar for this? I don't remember.
I think he got a nom at least.
Yeah, I think maybe it was first nomination. Just a really good movie that I think has stood the test of time, which is odd because it's a movie about a website, right? And that's the risk when you make these types of things is are you going to make a movie about something that's like on its way out at that point? It's just going to, like, if you made a MySpace movie like a year before MySpace disappeared, that could have very easily happened to Facebook too. And yet the website persists. The Social Network.
There's a sequel being made
By Fincher?
By Sorkin. He's directing it.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll check that out.
Yeah.
I'm down.
I'm intrigued. Yes.
The sequel is just more Facebook story?
It's like Facebook jumping a decade in the future, though.
Okay. It's not like the Twitter or something.
No,
like that.
no.
Okay.
It's still like Mark Zuckerberg, and I think it's called like The Social Disease or something like that.
Oh, like same actors and everything.
No, not same actors, same characters. Yeah, I don't think it's Jesse Eisenberg.
I'm more and more out the more you talk.
Right, no Fincher, no Eisenberg. Maybe Justin Timberlake came back though. Would that get you back in?
I mean, he would probably do it.
Okay. Are we on 670?
Yes.
Okay. My 670 is my old 589 triangle. So instead, my new 570 is Poor Things from 2023. Yorgos Lanthimos movie starring Emma Stone as a woman who is essentially brought back, kind of Frankenstein style, and is existing in a house with Willem Dafoe until she leaves that house to go on a world travel with Mark Ruffalo. That's the basic plot, but really this movie is about female independence and agency, and all takes place within this very Terry Gilliam-esque stylized world, which has its own unique look to it. Everyone in this movie is playing it big, but it works.
Cool. My 670 is The Witch by Robert Eggers. This is Anna Taylor-Joy, plays a girl in 1600s, lives a pretty meager farming existence, and there's a little paranoia that something's in the woods. And then there's a creepy goat, and there's a party, and a lot of stuff happens. And I think, wasn't the dialogue taken from actual texts from the time, in order to have authentic sounding dialogue and stuff like that?
Yeah, this is also Eggers, so it's definitely authentic sounding dialogue and dialects, and yeah. They're not speaking. They're not saying, "Oh my goodness, there's something in the barn."
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. So The Witch, that's my 670.
Love that movie. 669 for me is from 2017. It's a superhero movie titled Logan. Hugh Jackman returns in the last time he will ever play Wolverine on screen, which of course wasn't true, but at the time they were marketing it as that. And this movie, fast forward into the future, Professor X and Logan are barely surviving. They're all old men, and Weapon X stuff happens, and it's a good one. It's as comic book movies go, it elevates, and that's rare, I would say. So, Logan.
Zach, James and I discussed this briefly last podcast episode. I want you to hot take this. Robin Hood a la Logan. Yay or nay?
What do you mean?
No, I don't even understand what that means.
Okay, so it's a Robin Hood movie.
In
But
black and
he's
white, and he's surly.
No, yeah, right. Yeah, he's old, he's surly, he's burned out,
He's murdering people.
but he gets pulled back in the game. he has a reason to live, and he still has his skills.
Sure.
Is this movie yay, or do you like this movie, or do you not want the Logan treatment of Robin Hood?
Well, I'll say two things.
Okay.
One, I'm more than happy for any Robin Hood related thing to come out.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
There's always a good chance that I'm not going to like it or maybe like hate it. But please bring them forth. Right. I'm cool with that. The second thing I would say is they have made that movie and they are making that movie again.
Oh,
so,
they have. Okay.
Yeah. Robin and Marion is a Robin Hood film starring Sean Connery and I think Katharine Hepburn as Robin Hood and Maid Marian. And this is an old, angry, bitter
Version of
Robin Hood.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. And I hated it.
Okay.
It's really awful.
All right.
And I think the Hugh Jackman Robin Hood that's coming out sometime in the next year or two, I think will be similar vibes to that as well.
Wait, Hugh Jackman's playing Robin Hood?
Yeah.
Logan himself, Wolverine.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
this is as close as you're going to get. You actually have Logan play Robin Hood.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's called The Death of Robin Hood. It's directed by Michael Sarnowski. And Jodie Comer is Maid Marian and Hugh Jackman is Robin Hood.
Wow. I
I'm
did not
into it.
know I was describing Logan Robin Hood to you. It's already being made. That's
yeah, it will
crazy.
be in color, but other than that, I think it's going to be the movie that you're hoping for by the guy that directed Pig.
Okay. Well, Logan's in color.
Well, if you watch it that way.
Yeah.
It was originally released in color. They made it
Okay.
a noir version of it, but it originally came out in color.
But The
Okay.
Death of Robin Hood will come out in 2026.
And we're positive it'll be in color.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I would stake a stake on it.
All right. Well, we'll find out. Okay. Thank you for that little aside there. And now that we have other things to talk about. My 669 is my old 588, The Three Burials of Melquiades Estrada. So instead, my new 568 is Straight Outta Compton, which kind of slots in nicely with Boys in the Hood, which I previously mentioned. This is directed by F. Gary Gray, and it is the autobiography of NWA, who was one of the original gangster rap groups from South Central LA in the late 80s. I enjoy NWA's music. I'm obviously not the target audience for it, but I think they are quite talented and definitely capturing a moment. This movie I really enjoyed, especially the actors who were playing the various members. Obviously, you've got O'Shea Jackson Jr. playing his dad, which was worked out pretty well there. But Paul Giamatti is also pretty good as the manager. You can definitely tell though that this is like the authorized version of NWA by the Living Guys, because Ice Cube and Dr. Dre are handled with kid gloves in this movie, whereas like Eazy-E, who is dead, is the villain.
He's the bad guy. Yeah,
He's the bad guy. Yeah, and definitely some things that Dr. Dre was doing during this era that he's famous for or infamous for were left out of this movie. So good movie, but not the whole story.
Yeah, but good movie. My 669 is from 1979. It's by David Cronenberg, and it's called The Brood. Have either of you seen The Brood?
Heard of
No,
it.
but it's on my list for sure.
This is a body horror movie by Cronenberg that's a little crazy. And I don't want to say too much about it, but it's it's a pretty wild and wacky Cronenberg film with a really interesting tone and some good makeup effects. And I think it's worth watching. If you like The Substance, I think you'll enjoy The Brood.
Okay.
Nice. I definitely want to watch it. It's early Cronenberg, right? Is this first movie or close to it?
This is his I have no idea.
Okay.
What is it before? Do you know it's before or after Scanners?
It's 1979.
Okay, so pre-Scanners.
So pre-Scanners,
Yeah.
is what they're telling me in my ear.
Well, just checking. Yes, pre-Scanners.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
great,
Mhm.
perfect.
Yeah.
Nice. 668 from 2022, The Sea Beast, which is a Netflix movie. animated
saw it.
movie. I did see it. I'm sure we've talked about it. Maybe not in full, but
You mentioned to me, yeah.
top 10, last 10 or something like that. I think it hit my top 20 of that year.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, this is a movie about it's a fantasy adventure, 3D animated, Pixar, DreamWorks style movie. But this one, giant beasts are in the ocean, and this culture is against the beasts. It's very much a How to Train Your Dragon situation, where it's like they're at odds with these giant beasts, and it's like a piratey seafaring culture, and then they figure out that maybe these beasts you don't have to be so scared of them. Some of them are all right, type of thing, and some characters make friends with one of them.
Are some of them not all right? Or are they all just fine?
I think they're all right in the end. Not to spoil this. Kyle, do you remember if they're all right in the end?
I think the beasts are all right.
Right. I think it's the humans. The government, I think, is fomenting the hate between the beast and the...
Yeah, there's propaganda.
Right. Yeah. So this was a surprise to me. Netflix produced animated film. Other than Klaus, I don't think there's any other ones.
Oh, Klaus, you mean?
Klaus.
Okay.
Klaus. Other than Klaus, I can't think of another Netflix produced animated film that
James,
really got
is
me.
this your favorite Netflix produced film?
Netflix produced animated film?
No,
For
Is
sure.
it your favorite Netflix produced film?
That I'm not ready to say yes to. I need to scan my list and see if
Have you
there's
seen-
any others.
What about
I don't
Roma
remember.
or like Beasts of
Yeah,
Southern
like
Nation?
Roma,
Yeah.
Beasts of No Nation.
I mean, yeah.
There are probably higher ones, I would guess,
Okay.
but
right.
I'll confirm for you.
Please.
All right, are you done?
No, let me talk for another 10 minutes about
Great. Okay.
sea beasts.
We'll wait it out.
I'm going to use my one veto.
Yes, I'm sorry. Please pick a new movie.
Fair enough.
You get one per podcast run.
Like, for the history of the podcast.
The history of the Cinereelists. Yeah, you get
So
the
for
veto.
700, you've been waiting for 699
Yes.
episodes to
Yeah.
use this veto. Okay, perfect.
Yep.
I don't want 10 more minutes on the sea beast.
My 668 is my old 587, Before the Devil Knows You're Dead. So instead, let's talk my new 566, The Passion of the Joan of Arc. This is a 1928 movie directed by Carl
Great movie.
Theodor Dreyer. It is great. It is a silent
Great
film.
movie.
It's the story of Joan of Arc and her being arrested, on trial, tortured, and eventually murdered, or whatever, martyred,
Executed.
sacrificed, executed. Thank you. That's the word I'm going for. Yes, for claiming that she speaks with God. And this movie is incredible because of Maria Falconetti, who plays Joan of Arc, Jeanne d'Arc in this movie. Her face is incredibly expressive. Her eyes can tell a story, which you need because this is a silent film. There is no dialogue. It is just facial expressions and music. And I would say if you need to dabble your toes into silent film and you're not sure about it, this is a good place to start because it's only 82 minutes long. It is incredible cinematography for the era. It's incredible face acting for the era. And I think it's, definitely a high standard of the silent film. And this is
It's
not an
very good.
opinion I hold. This is a well-known, well-held opinion amongst the cinephile community.
Yeah, it's very good. My 668 is an incredible movie. In fact, it's Incredibles 2. By sheer coincidence. Incredibles 2, really fun. Incredibles is such a good movie, so good. And this one was not as good, but still great. They had more in the tank, and I enjoyed this movie a lot. So Incredibles 2, my 668.
Nice. My 667 is from 2017. It's Lady Bird. This is the Greta Gerwig directed movie starring Saoirse Ronan, Laurie Metcalf, and Timothy Chalamet, amongst others. It's a small coming-of-age drama. Saoirse Ronan's the daughter to Laurie Metcalf, who you might remember from the Roseanne show. She played Roseanne's sister. And Saoirse Ronan's a teenager who's growing up. She's got a boyfriend in Timothée Chalamet's character, and she fights with her mom a lot. And it's very real and interesting and humorous, and just a grounded but fast-paced comedy drama. I love it. I've seen it twice, and its charms have not worn off on me. Lady Bird.
All right. My 667 is my old 586 Pig. So instead, let's talk about my new 561, The Monk and the Gun. This is a 2023 movie from Bhutan. Probably the first movie I've ever seen from the country of Bhutan. A country I forget exists sometimes. Sorry, Bhutan, but you're not on the map.
Harsh.
Anyway, sorry to all our Bhutanese listeners. I apologize.
It literally is on the map, though.
I know. Just saying it's not. I don't think about Bhutan very often. This movie, maybe think about Bhutan. This movie takes place about 20 years ago when Bhutan changed from a monarchy to a democracy. So it's sort of at this period of change within Bhutan. There is this American arms dealer, or not going to say gun dealer, that's the wrong word, American gun collector, who's in Bhutan trying to find this vintage rifle. And this vintage rifle happens to be in possession of a local lama, a local Buddhist leader. And this leader gives the rifle to one of his disciples and says, "Oh, bring this rifle down the mountain to this festival." And you're not quite sure why a Buddhist monk who believes in nonviolence has to have a rifle. And, you also have this farce of this American trying to purchase this rifle using money that means nothing to these people, all set to this backdrop of a country that's changing governments. And do they even want to embrace change in the first place? It's a very well done movie that is also a bit of a political satire. It kind of pokes fun at democracy. And sort of maybe like, is democracy as wonderful as we all say it is from these people who seem very happy with the government that they currently have. So if you have not seen it, I would definitely check it out. It was a movie my mom recommended to me. She saw the festival and said, like, "Oh, you have to prioritize this." And I really enjoyed it from 2023.
Cool. My 667 is Crazy Rich Asians, which I thought was a fun romantic comedy that you rarely get that works as well as this one does. And this one was fun. I really like the mom character. The mom character was great, played by Michelle Yeoh. Crazy Rich Asians.
Nice.
That's
a good one. Before I tell you what my number 666 is, which I really wish I had taken the opportunity to put like a really scary movie in this slot.
Oh, I should have put like Late Night with the Devil at 666.
Right.
That would have been perfect.
I want to answer Zach's question. The highest any streaming movie is on my list is number 251 with Palm Springs, which is a Hulu movie, not a Netflix movie. So to really answer your question, for Netflix, it's 334. Number 334. I don't feel at home in this world anymore.
Oh.
Okay.
So not any of the ones we speculated. An entirely different one I forgot about.
A new one.
My number 666, though, is kind of a devilish movie, if you think about it. It's the documentary The Cove from 2009, which is about whale murderers, I would say. Dolphin murderers, I guess, technically.
Dolphins are whales, so you can call them whale murderers.
Sure. Yep. Which is weird, because when I worked at SeaWorld, we used to have a show called the Whale and Dolphin Show.
It's really the Whale and Whale Show.
Right, exactly. We tried to make that argument. They decided not to change the name. Yeah, I mean, The Cove is just a very raw, in-the-moment documentary about activists who are trying to get a small fishing community in Japan to stop murdering dolphins. And it's framed like a heist movie. It's very effective in making its point and kind of riveting to watch. And it's a good one. Literally a movie that changed the trajectory of a theme park that had a long and rich history. It just completely changed how they operate. It's taken a while for them to make that pivot, but they have done it, and it's not solely because of this movie, but this one was definitely an inflection point. The Cove.
Nice. My 666 is my old 585, The Curious Case of Benjamin Button. So instead, let's talk about my new 560, Singles from 1992. This is directed by Cameron Crowe. This movie stars Bridget Fonda, Kira Sedgwick, Matt Dillon, Bill Pullman, a bunch of other people, Tom Skerritt. This movie takes place in Seattle in the early 90s, and it's sort of a slice of life of the dating scene amongst these young adults in Seattle. And it all is happening around what we guys call the grunge sound, the Seattle sound. So in this movie, these characters are like having conversation at clubs, but the club has Soundgarden playing in the background.
To
they
a
go to another
small crowd. It's wild.
And it's like Alice in Chains is playing live, but they're just in the background playing. Matt Dillon's character is in the band, and the rest of his band is made up by the guys of Pearl Jam. You know, like it's you watch this movie, you're like, oh, this is wild. All these bands are in it. Apparently Nirvana was asked to be in this movie, but they didn't want to commercialize the Seattle sound. Ironically, they become then the band that broke out of the whole thing. So, but yeah, it's, I mean, both for the era, which is an era I'm nostalgic for, you know, having grown up, you know, with that music, the comedy, it's a funny movie, and just the actors, this movie really clicked for me. And I really dig Singles.
Cool. Well, my 666 is a movie that I think both of you like better than me, but it's still on my list. It is The Lighthouse from 2019. Another
a lot of Robert Eggers on this list also.
Yeah,
this is his zone, evidently.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is his zone.
Luc Besson and Robert Eggers.
Yeah,
slots right in.
Yeah, and this is Robert Pattinson, William Dafoe, and it's gets a little wacky, and it's all in black and white, but it's worth a watch.
Nice. 665 from 2017. It's Good Time, which is Josh and Benny Safdie, directed by them, stars Robert Pattinson and Benny Safdie. Robert Pattinson plays, I think, the older brother. His younger brother, played by Benny Safdie, or Josh. I don't remember. One of the Safdies.
I think it's Benny.
Sure. He's a little... Go ahead.
No.
He's a little special needs, the little brother. And his older brother, who's tasked with taking care of him, Robert Pattinson, has a drug problem, we'll say.
Yeah.
A drug and crime problem. And so he is not a great caretaker of his brother. He is well-intentioned, for sure, but also a little bit of a screw-up. And so over the course of this movie, I think it happens over the course of one night or so, they're kind of on the run for various reasons that you'll find out if you watch the movie. Has a great score, has a great pace, perfect debut as far as I'm concerned. I don't remember if this is their first movie, certainly the first one I've seen from the Safdie brothers. And it's just one of those movies that like I liked enough that I'll probably watch all the other movies that these guys make, because there's a chance they'll make another movie like Good Time. It's a great one. Probably should be higher on my list, but we'll leave that for the next set of 100.
This also has the I'm the Captain Now guy in it, right?
Yes.
Yep.
He's also in it. Not much, but
okay.
He does pop out of nowhere.
My 665 is a new movie. This is Coherence. This is a 2013 independent movie directed by James Ward Burkett, starring people you've never heard of before. This is definitely a small movie about a group of couples that gathers at a house one night for a game night. Something odd happens, and when they leave their house, they end up at their house again. But now there's a different version of them in the house having the same game night. And this movie gets very, very twisty and folds in on itself as you keep having these essentially different dimensions of the same couple having a game night overlapping as they try and figure out what exactly is going on and who belongs in what dimension. It's a lot of fun. It's a movie that feels very well thought out. It's kind of like Primer, where if you probably could graph what exactly is happening. I think the movie actually does know what's happening. As an audience member, I don't know exactly what's happening, but I trust that I'm not just being taken along for a ride, that there is something going on that makes sense. And it's a lot of fun.
Cool. Yeah, it's a good movie. 665 for me is Spaceballs by Mel Brooks.
Yeah.
I didn't grow up with this film, so I don't have that kind of nostalgia to it, but I did see it probably in my 20s, and it's fun. It's really fun. I like Mel Brooks and his sense of humor, and I like Spaceballs, so that's why it's my 665.
How are you feeling about the sequel, Zach?
Again, I don't care that much about the sequel, but
you'll
have
watch
fun.
it.
Let's do it. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna watch it.
I care about it, and also the fact that Rick Moranis is coming back.
Yeah, it's cool.
I don't even care if it's good. I just want to see Rick Moranis on the screen again. I'm anticipating that for sure.
I showed Galen Spaceballs a couple weeks ago.
And
he loved it. He thought it was hilarious. Yeah. He's,
That's
I mean, perfect age. 20's little, and you may not get all the crude humor at 20.
I'm sure you get it. It just might not be as fun.
A lot of it went over my head.
But at 9, yeah, that movie's perfect for 9-year-olds.
Yeah. Famously hard to penetrate. Spaceballs. 664 from 2005. It's the documentary Rise, which I love this movie. Super stylish, just directed by David LaChapelle, who probably directed your favorite hip hop music video from the 90s and maybe early 2000s. Super flashy director who directed like Missy Elliott's
like Superfly
videos, and yeah, just
or
very
Rain,
memorable stuff for sure. This movie focuses on dancers who dance to like let out their emotion, like street dancing, and just edited like a music video. You know what I mean? It's just like a riveting documentary, I would say. Slice of life into a community that I will never experience personally. And those are some of my favorite documentaries. Also, this came up in the top 10 forgotten films of 2005. It came up in my top 10 documentaries of all time in the number 10th slot. So if you haven't checked out Rise, go check it out. What are you waiting for?
What are you doing with your life?
Yeah, it's awesome.
It's on my watch list, and I'll have to watch it now.
Oh, it's if you're like, documentaries are so dry, I don't want to get into something heavy. Rise. Go watch Rise. It is
Rise.
It's so fast paced and like boom, 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 boom. It's great.
Is it more a celebration of dance and less an indictment on the culture surrounding it?
Celebration of dance and like people in very tough, tough communities. I did not get it.
No, you did not get it.
Tough communities who use self-expression instead of going into the seedier elements of those communities.
Okay. All right. Well, sounds like it's up my alley.
We have to rewatch this during editing just to hear the joke.
What year was Rise?
That was 2005.
Okay.
My 664.
I should say Rise with a Z.
Oh, okay, with a Z. Okay. Phew. My 664 is my old 584 Untouchables. So instead, my new movie to the list is 537, The Shawshank Redemption. Again, I feel like an oversight. I'm not sure why this was on my list before. Kind of like The Silence of the Lambs. Haven't seen this movie in a long time, but definitely watched it a lot in college. Pretty solid movie. Stephen King.
It's a lot of people's favorite movie.
It's a lot of people's favorite movie, yes. Definitely not my favorite movie, obviously, but it was this movie for the longest time of like, I didn't hear about it until IMDb came out in like, the 90s. And I was like, what is this Shawshank Redemption? That's the number one movie of all time. Like, oh,
Yep.
okay.
Is that a Stephen King book?
I believe it's a Stephen King book, yes.
That guy's made a lot of movies.
Yeah.
I just saw one this weekend.
Did you
that
see
movie, The Long Walk?
Oh, I want to see
That's
The Long
based on a
Walk.
Stephen King book. I
Yeah.
didn't know. About
Oh,
that.
interesting. What is it about his writing that translates to movies so well?
I think My guess is that he's a very strong thematic writer. Like he can obviously write good imagery, but I think there's more to his writing than just like what's on the page. And I think that's what makes it easy to adapt, because you can figure out, okay, what is he actually going for? Like what is the actual story, emotion, feeling behind this scene? And it could work in a book, but how do we make it into a movie? That's my assumption.
I also think he's a very hooky writer. Like he comes up with spins
High
on
concepts.
things. Yeah, high concepts. On top of that, I think he snowballed a little bit, right? Like a couple of them were made, they were hits, and they were like, what else you got? You know what I mean?
That's a good point.
He's just kept that ball rolling for a couple decades now.
Sure has. All right, my number 664 is Marcel the Shell with Shoes On.
Nice.
Which is an odd film. It stars a shell with a very kid voice played by Jenny Slate. And it's kind of like a documentary about Marcel. And it's just utterly charming and sweet and saccharine. And I like it. I like it a lot. It's nice.
I like that one as well. Movie that's not so nice. 663. 2017, First Reformed.
Oh.
Yeah, that's not Marcel the Shell with Shoes On.
Paul Schrader directed movie, also written by him, starring Ethan Hawke, Amanda Seyfried, and others. Ethan Hawke plays a pastor in what kind of church? I'm forgetting the name.
I think he's a
Calvinist,
priest, like a Lutheran, maybe?
Dutch Reformed Church.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Whatever that means.
he's off in Michigan, in Grand Rapids.
Anyway, it's a lot about religion, obsession, environmental extremism in a weird way. It's a good thriller with some very complicated characters. And if you the seedier side of Paul Schrader's movies, it definitely exists on that side, I would say. But it's one I enjoyed a lot. First Reformed.
Another movie I need to check out.
Oh, absolutely. Especially since you're like a big Hawk head, right?
I am a Hawk head.
Ethan Hawke. How have you not seen First Reformed? I don't think you really like Ethan Hawke if you haven't seen First Reformed, to be honest.
Yeah, I might see The Black Phone 2 before I see First Reformed, just to, really round out the filmography. All right, my 663 is my old 583 American Hustle. So instead, let's talk about my 536, The Rescue 2021. This is a documentary about the Thai soccer team that got stuck in a cave after a monsoon flooded said cave. The search to find that team was incredibly difficult. The fact that they were found alive was amazing. And then the plan to take them out of the cave was even more difficult than anything they had faced before that. I'd seen the Ron Howard version first, like 13 Lives it was called or something like that, which I enjoyed. But this is way better because it's the actual people who did the actual rescue talking about their experience. They have actual footage of them in the water. You see the first contact. You learn about the politics that's surrounding everything with the rescue and just how hard it is. And it's even more amazing that this rescue was as successful as it was when you hear it from the mouths of the people who actually pulled it off, who didn't even think they could pull it off. They're like, well, this is our best plan. It'll maybe work. So the fact that it worked as well as it did was pretty amazing, even to them.
Nice.
Yeah. Such a great documentary. My 663 is Anatomy of a Fall. This is from 2023. And it's kind of a whodunit. A guy falls from a balcony and dies. And the only one home is the wife and their blind son. And then she goes through the court system in France to determine if she killed him or if it was an accident. And it's kind of a procedural. It's cool to see a court system that's different than the American system. And it presents that really well. And the movie doesn't give you any easy answers, but it does give you a really catchy jam that is played throughout the film.
The PIMP, the steel drum version.
Yeah, absolutely. And that is worth the price of admission just to hear that.
Oh, and
that,
you will hear a
banger.
lot of it.
Yes,
It
you
is the first 10 minutes of that movie is
Yeah. So, Anatomy of a Fall.
Nice. My 662 is from 2016. It's The Wailing, which is a South Korean horror movie. It's so good. This one is awesome. It should probably
Enough to be
higher.
on your top 700.
I need to rewatch it. Top 14th percentile. I need to rewatch it. It's another crime serial killer procedural. It's this guy who I believe is a policeman or a detective of some sort, and he is investigating some mysterious deaths, and then stuff happens, and I don't want to describe that stuff because that's the beauty of the movie. It is a horror movie, so be ready for it to be a horror movie. And I want to sell it better, but that would just be giving away too much of what The Wailing has to offer. It's a long one, so strap in. You're talking like 2.5 hours on this one, but it's so good and so like just dripping with atmosphere and intrigue and unexpected twists and turns over the course. Every time you think you've got the movie figured out, it pivots a little bit, just enough to make you uneasy. I love this movie. When I first saw it, I need to rewatch it. The Wailing.
All right. Another movie I've heard of was on my watch list a long time ago and kind of fell off.
Just got buried, basically, I'm sure.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
662 is my old 582, X-Men Days of Future Past. So instead, my new 535 is 2024's Anora, the Sean Baker movie starring Mikey Madison. This movie's great. It's incredible performances all around. A quick reminder, this is about a sex worker who elopes with the son of a Russian oligarch, and that marriage crumbles very quickly once the actual Russian oligarch's parents show up and are like, yeah, no, you're not marrying this person. Let's go annul this marriage. And it's the kind of movie where it could be something like Miss Bala, where it's just misery after misery. But instead, this movie kind of chooses the most comedic, or maybe not comedic, the most humorous ways to resolve most of these tense situations. So although the movie's tense, you never feel extreme danger for the characters because ridiculous things happen throughout.
Sure. Yeah. It's a good movie. My 662 is a classic Western called Unforgiven, directed by Clint Eastwood, starring Clint Eastwood and Gene Hackman and Morgan Freeman. And this is, about a retired gunslinger who gets roped back in for one last kind of go. And it's just really, really good, really solid. Clint Eastwood is great. I like him better than John Wayne for my Westerns. He's my cowboy. Unforgiven is really good.
I agree. Very good. 661 from 2010, The King's Speech. This is a Best Picture winner, I think, whatever year it came out. Starring Colin Firth, Jeffrey Rush, Helena Bonham Carter, and Guy Pearce, amongst others. It's a historical drama about George the Sixth's life, his stutter, and how he overcame it by giving speeches. There's more to it than that, but that's the gist, I would say. It's got to be wild to be Tom Hooper, who directed it, to go from like winning Best Picture and then like 9 years later you make the live action adaptation of Cats and everybody just absolutely hates it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just like absolutely, it's considered maybe one of the worst ideas ever. And yeah, if it wasn't for the pandemic, I think we'd still be talking about that movie. Definitely career whiplash. A lot of people think this movie's a little contrived, a little Oscar baity. That might be true. I still like it. King's Speech.
Yeah, it's good. All right, what number am I on here? My number 661 is a new movie to the list, and it's none other than 1982's Sophie's Choice. This movie stars Meryl Streep, Kevin Kline, and Peter McNichol. Peter McNichol plays a journalist, or a writer, I should say. This movie takes place in 1947, so just after World War II. He plays a writer who befriends his neighbors, played by Meryl Streep and Kevin Kline, and he quickly learns that Meryl Streep is a Holocaust survivor. And this movie is a combination of her flashbacks to surviving the Holocaust and the terrible choices she had to make, as well as how that is sort of unraveling her marriage and her mental state in the present day. It's a very powerful movie. It's obviously a very challenging movie, being about the Holocaust. And it is the inspiration for one of our most famous games on the show.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
that's true.
It is.
My 661 is the best of the Cars franchise. It is Cars 2.
No,
My favorite of the Cars franchise.
No.
Cars 2, the only Cars film on my list.
That's
This
wild.
one is great, especially compared to the other ones, which are tough watches for me. This one has spy stuff, which is pretty cool. Cars 2, my 661.
So Cars and Cars 3, not enough Larry the Cable Guy for you, right? That's what you were missing?
Yes, yeah.
'Cause
Not enough Mater.
There is so much Larry the Cable Guy in Cars 2.
Yeah. Cars 2, the best Cars film.
Oh, that's a wild take, but whatever. It's your list, man.
And with that, there's only 30 more movies to go till we're done here
Well,
tonight.
really 40 because Kyle mentions 2 each time.
That's true.
Yeah, but I'm not
Yeah.
talking about the first one. You
Yeah.
can go listen to our top 600 if you want to hear me talk about these other movies.
Number 660, we've got Silence from 2016, another Martin Scorsese movie. Where I guess we're like in the lower or mid tier of Martin Scorsese movies.
Yeah, Killers of
That's why
Flower Moon.
He's got
Yeah.
a couple of these in here too, or at least ones that haven't baked long enough to go higher up the list.
You're right,
It's
exactly.
possible.
Yep.
Yeah. So Silence is one of those. It's a epic historical drama. It stars another Andrew Garfield movie. I think I've had 2 or 3 of those in this set of 50. Adam Driver's in this one, as well as Liam Neeson, and it's about a priest who is trying to convert Japanese people to Christianity, and he gets caught doing this, and the government at the time didn't want you to spread religion, or at least his version of religion, and so he is put in a dilemma where he either needs to renounce his faith or die. And this is another long one, I believe, at least for Mr. Scorsese. 161 minutes on this one, so 2 hours and 40 minutes or so, but it's good. It's an epic for a reason. Takes a while to get there, but the payoff is worth the investment. Silence.
As a Scorsese I've yet to see.
Oh, you should check
Oh,
it
interesting.
out.
I should.
You got a feast waiting for you for sure.
Awesome. I just want to say that my 660 is a new movie, Zach. It's not one of these double ups. And this movie I hold in the same regard as Zach holds Cars 2. And that is Free Solo. And I'm starting to realize that this is must be my documentary zone. Because I was like,
this is your zone.
I'm like, documentaries, they're good. Yeah, we'll put them over here. Why not? So Free Solo is a documentary about a climber whose name I can't remember right now, who wants to free solo El Capitan. And free soloing is essentially climbing without ropes, without safety gear. So this movie chronicles his practices of trying to scale El Capitan with ropes, which is challenging enough with safety gear. until he finally decides to make his attempt without ropes, as well as the mental impact that it gives him and his loved ones, because it's very strong chance he could die doing this pursuit, because he makes one error and he plummets thousands of feet to his death. Great documentary, and I've really become a fan of Jimmy Chin and the other woman he works with, whose name I can't remember right now. But I think they're pretty incredible extreme nature documentary makers.
Yeah, they're great.
Nice.
Great pick. My 660, I think, was a recommendation from James, perhaps, from 2013. It is The Kings of Summer. The Kings of Summer. This is a coming of age film. Nick Offerman's in it, but it's really about these three boys, and they go into the woods and they try to build a house of their own in the woods. And it's just a very solid, moving coming of age movie. And that is a genre that I enjoy quite a bit. And this is well done. So The Kings of Summer.
Nice. I think I've only seen that once. I need to rewatch it. I remember it being very,
I liked it.
I don't know, not inspirational, but easy to watch, easy to go down.
It's a movie about kids existing in the adultless world, which we don't get much of those anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
My number 659 is from 1963, An Actor's Revenge, which was a blind watch on Criterion Blu-ray that I watched earlier this year. Again, I'm starting at the beginning of the alphabet, and so An Actor's Revenge is one of the letter A movies that I definitely think is above and beyond some of the other ones I've seen from the A movies in the Criterion Collection. Anyway, Actor's Revenge, Japanese movie, male actor gets so good playing a female on stage that people start to believe he is actually a female. And so he starts being a female in his regular life. And there's a revenge element of the movie that I'm not going to explain right now, because I think that's a part of the fun of the movie. And you should watch it for that, but you should also watch it for the visuals. It blew my mind, the visuals in this movie, because it's a stage actor, a kabuki stage actor, and so there's certainly scenes of him on stage acting, but they've kind of filmed the entire thing like it's a stage play in wide, even though they are changing locations. And they did things like blend the background into the sides. So like things just kind of like fade into dark black on the edges, and it's like super widescreen at the same time. It's hard to describe in words. When you watch the movie, you'll just be like, this is like nothing I've seen before. And that's rare for me. I've seen a lot of movies. So whenever you can put something in front of me that I wasn't expecting and it's something I've never seen before, I'm just like, I don't even care what's happening right now. Just like the images are hitting my eyeballs and it's pleasing to me. That's how I can explain it. And it helps that the story's great as well. An Actor's Revenge from 1963.
All right. My 659 is my old 581, Anvil, the story of Anvil. So instead, I'm going to talk about my new 533 from 2024, Thelma. This movie stars June Squibb, and she plays a nanoengineering in a nursing home she lives on her own, but she falls for a telephone scam. It's one of these scams where she gets a call from her grandson and says, hey, you must mail me $10,000 to this address or else the police will, arrest me or something. And she does so, realizes that she got scammed. And instead of accepting it, she, with Richard Roundtree, the old Shaft, decide to team up to get her money back. And this movie has fun with spy conventions of like, what if 90-year-olds were out trying to be in an action movie? Now, it's not super heightened, so they're not like doing things that they would not be able to do, but they're using like their Bluetooth earpieces as communicators. They're leaving their life alert devices around to like trick their family into a location, and they're definitely approaching this as like spies, even though they're retirees just trying to live out their golden years. It's a lot of fun.
I mean, I'm looking at a Letterboxd, and there are so many people in that are my quote unquote friends that are all like 4 stars, 4.5 stars, 4 stars.
Oh, it's a super easy watch.
Nice.
Parker Posey and Clark Gregg play the parents, the children of June Squibb. So they're in there a little bit.
Also 98 minutes. Sounds perfect.
Yeah. Yep.
That is a short movie.
Check it out.
Yeah, it's not a movie that I have really heard of. So
I have it on
that's
my
awesome.
watch list, probably because Kyle's talked about it before,
Yeah.
I would guess.
My 659, I got reminded of because James talked about it recently on the last 10 top 10. It is The Vanishing, also called Spoorloos. That's how I know it. Spoorloos from 1988. And it's about a young couple. They go on vacation. They stop at like a road stop to go to the bathroom. And the woman is just gone when the guy comes out of the bathroom. And there's no sign of her. There's no trace of her. And there's no one to contact. And years go by and he just has no explanation for why she ever left. And then I think he gets like a communication from the person that abducted her, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's a very well-paced movie, very intriguing. You want to keep watching, you want to know what's going to happen. It's very like, what would I do in this situation? Yeah, it's good. I would definitely recommend The Vanishing.
Yeah, and like the decision he has to make it towards the end is like brutal.
Yeah,
I would say. I guess that's me. We're looking at 658 from 2016, Kubo and the Two Strings. This is an animated stop motion movie from Laika Studios, starring the voices of Charlize Theron and Rooney Mara and George Takei and Matthew McConaughey, and it's awesome. It's a the guy from that did Paranorman, and I think they did Coraline, and a couple, maybe one other that I'm forgetting.
They did a Bigfoot movie.
Yeah, I don't like that.
I can't remember what it's called.
I left it out for a reason.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's this I think is maybe their best. I've only seen it once, but it's
super, their best. Yeah.
Yeah, it's super colorful and fast moving and fun, and the stop motion is just the combination. They use a little bit of like green screen and CGI to like supplement the stop motion, and I think it's the perfect mix. Maintains the charm of stop motion animation, but also allows technology to elevate it without like interfering with the art of it. And yeah, I really enjoyed this, and I need to rewatch it.
Yeah, they'll use CGI to like erase armature that's holding a character up so it can do a flip.
Yeah,
But
or they'll film armatures against green screen and then film backgrounds, real life backgrounds, and combine them, stuff like that.
Right, but they're not CGIing the characters. Like the characters are still stop animation.
100%. Yeah.
All right, my 658 is Traffic from 2000. This is a Steven Soderbergh film. And this movie is about the Mexican American drug traffic trade, especially around the 2000s, but it's still going on to this day. This movie has quite a cast: Michael Douglas, Benicio del Toro, Catherine Zeta-Jones, Don Cheadle, Topher Grace apparently was in this movie. Forgot about that. And I don't remember if there is a connective tissue because it's sort of 3 different storylines. I believe Catherine Zeta-Jones plays a like the wife of a kingpin, and then Michael Douglas is like a drug czar who's investigating, and I believe Benicio del Toro might play like a cop. So they each have like different stories that are taking place that are all centered around drugs between the Mexico and the U.S. border. I can't remember if they all connect or not, or if it's just kind of 3 separate stories. But either way, I remember this being a really powerful and strong movie. Maybe its worst legacy, though, is it gave us the idea of Mexico is yellow.
Which everybody ran with after this.
Exactly. This was the first movie to do it, which looked cool, and now that's all you ever see.
Yeah. It's funny.
Wasn't this, I thought, didn't this win Best Picture, or was it just nominated for Best Picture? I feel like this is maybe a Best Picture winner, right?
This is the kind of thing that Kyle would normally know.
I don't know.
Okay, it was nominated for Best Picture. Did not
Okay.
win, but it won Director, Supporting Actor, Screenplay, and Editing.
Was Benicio del Toro? Did he win supporting actor?
He won Supporting. Yep.
Okay. Yep.
Okay, my 658 is John Wick, Chapter 3, Parabellum.
Nice.
And this is a very good John Wick film. This is the one with Halle Berry and the dogs.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And I like it. I like all the John Wick films.
Nice.
Buckle up for John Wick 5.
Are they doing?
Are they making that?
I'm pretty sure they're gonna make it. Yeah.
If they do, I think they're going to reboot John Wick
I
with a
don't
new
think
John Wick.
I don't know. I think it's gonna be Keanu back.
Do you think Keanu back?
Yep, he's back again. Again.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I'm back again.
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 Again. 657 from 2015, Land of Mine, which is a Danish film. It's post World War II, probably, likely. And it's young German soldiers who are being forced to comb a beach for landmines because the Germans planted a bunch of landmines on this beach. Now the war is over, and part of their penance, I guess, for being on the losing side is to clear this beach, which is very dangerous, right? Like trying to find the landmines that are buried and disarm them without blowing yourself up. And the Dutch soldiers are forcing the Germans to do the most dangerous part, the disarming. And it's a movie that's dealing with the idea that like some of these German soldiers are like 16 years old. You know what I mean? And it's like and I'm not saying they shouldn't have any repercussions, but they're 16. You know what I mean? Like they had very little choice in what they were doing, I would say. And so some of the callousness from the Danish troops softens over the course of the movie as they get to know these German soldiers, and they realize that they're not the villains that they thought they were. The soldiers, at least. Very affecting movie, very well done. It's not exactly high action, but it's tense because there's a lot of bomb disarmings, some that go well, most that go well, but some that don't. And kind of a tragic movie. I think it was a listener suggestion that I watched a long, long time ago, and it was very good. I feel like I've brought this up several times because it stuck with me. Anyway, Land of Mine. Check it out.
Nice. My 657 is my old 580, To Kill a Mockingbird. So instead, I'm talking about my new 529, Catch Me If You Can. This is another movie by Steven Spielberg, 2002, starring Leonardo DiCaprio playing Frank Abagnale Jr. Based on a real person, Frank Abagnale Jr. claims to be the greatest con man of all times. His biggest con he was known for was pretending to be a Pan Am pilot and collecting paychecks, and also using his status as a pilot to get free flights and freebies. He also conned his way into being a doctor and a lawyer. And throughout this movie, we are watching his cons as Tom Hanks is playing the agent who is chasing him, he's always one step behind him, trying to catch this infamous con man. Watched this recently. Did not realize Amy Adams is in this movie. Very young Amy Adams. She actually plays like a teenage daughter of a priest or a reverend who's gonna marry Frank Abagnale Jr. But it's still a fun movie, even though I'm pretty sure that everything that Abagnale Jr. claims to have done has been debunked.
Oh, is that true?
I believe there's actually no proof he did any of this stuff.
Well, then why did he go to jail?
Well, he did go to jail for fraud, but I don't believe he went to jail for he went to jail. He did do false paychecks from Pan Am. I don't believe he ever actually pretended to be a pilot and went on flights and the more romantic stuff he claims is probably false.
Interesting. Okay, I
But,
did not know
yeah.
that.
Yeah, you could double check me on that, but I'm pretty sure he's not as great a con man as he claims to be. Still a really fun movie.
Great. My 657 is a movie that I've talked about a few times. Haven't got anyone to follow me down the hole to watch John and the Hole from 2021. This is a film where a troubled 13-year-old drugs his entire family, and they wake up in a bunker under, like, down a deep hole that they can't get out of. So they can see the surface. They're just like 20 feet down and can't do anything about it. And so it's about that. And it's really, it's really good. They're trying to convince him to let them out of the hole. And John doesn't want to. So yeah, John and the Hole.
I've seen it.
You didn't like it?
Probably on your recommendation. It's not on my list.
You gave it 3 stars.
It's maybe in the 15th percentile instead of the 14th.
Yeah,
possibly.
you gave it 3 stars. You
I
liked
gave
it.
it 3.
Yeah.
It's got a ways to make one of these lists for sure at 3 stars, I would say.
Sure.
But I didn't hate it, clearly. I did review it. You want to hear what I said about it? Literally one line. Budget Lanthimos / Ramsey, but I dug the score.
Question.
Mm-hmm.
When you said you dug the score, was that an intentional pun because it's called John and the Hole, or an unintentional pun?
How is it a pun? How is
Because you dig
score-
holes.
Oh, dug. I was focusing on the word score.
Yeah.
Dug. Not intentional.
I'm guessing unintentional.
Not intentional.
Yeah.
Accidental for sure. Yeah.
Okay.
I really want to claim that was on purpose, but no, it was not. I imagine. Hard to be a god. 656.
656.
656. Hard to be a god from 2013, which we talked about on this episode. Did somebody recommend this to us? I don't remember how we found this.
It was, I might have brought it up because it was like one of those unseen sci-fi movies that I saw on a bunch of lists.
Gotcha.
Right. This is the Russian one about time travelers who go back to like medieval muddy Russia.
Yes.
Yes.
Wikipedia describes it as an epic medieval science fiction movie. It's a very gross, grimy, dark movie, claustrophobic feeling. Super, like, the production design in this is very specific and very well done. Like, if you're looking for an example of production design matching the content, this is like a prime example. Even if you don't like living in that world, you can't get away from the fact that it's visually very put together considering the subject matter. Also, one of our most popular YouTube videos, I think because people just don't talk about this movie publicly very often. It's a Russian movie on top of everything. It's a little harder to access for people, both physically and emotionally. I think it's a hard movie to watch in general. Most people don't want to spend time in this world. And I'm not saying I love being in this world, but man, it was so well made, this movie, that I think the people that do delve into it come away from it affected in one way or another. Hard to be a god.
Yeah, it's not a movie you're going to have no opinion on.
For sure.
Yeah. You're like, oh, yeah, I saw that. Sure.
Yep.
All right. My number 656 is from 2004. This is Hotel Rwanda. This movie stars Don Cheadle. He plays the real-life hotel owner, Paul Rusesabagina. I probably said that wrong, but we're going to go with it. And anyway, he is a hotel owner in Rwanda, and this is during the genocide of the Tutsis by the Hutus, and he used his hotel as a safe haven to hide people, to hide Tutsis from this genocide. This is obviously another tough movie to watch because it's about genocide, and you do see some brutal attacks, and there are, families and children in danger. but it's also a very well acted movie from Don Cheadle, and another movie that's kind of talking about a piece of history that a lot of the world was not aware of that was happening in this era. I think now it's more common to talk about the Hutus and the Tutsis, but definitely when it was happening, people were not talking about this at all.
Yeah, oh, for sure. All right, 656 for me is Wonka from 2023. I was very surprised by how much I enjoyed this movie. It was utterly charming. Timothy Chalamet. It was fun. It was really good. I'm a big fan of the original, obviously, and this is the prequel. And I thought it hit a great sensibility. I enjoyed this movie quite a bit. So Wonka is my 656.
Yeah, as prequels that come like decades later, I think that did it right. You know what I mean? Like it didn't really touch the original, but it was charming in similar ways. I liked it too. 655 from 2016, Captain America: Civil War, which is basically another Avengers movie with the Captain America title on it. Also the first movie that Tom Holland appeared as Spider-Man in the MCU pre-Endgame era. And yeah, just a movie I really enjoy. Also, this movie has my memory attached to me and Zach and Luke debating it outside of the Enzion for like far too long. I remember for like an hour we talked about Civil War. And so I have just fond memories of the movie in general and the experience of the movie and talking about the movie. And this was like prime Marvel, prime MCU for me, for sure. And I think it holds up too. If you're into these movies, this is one of the ones where like stuff happens in it, movement and storytelling, and things are combining in ways we never thought imaginable with these types of universes of movies. My 655, Civil War.
My 655 is my old 579, The Harder They Fall. So instead, I'm going to talk about my new 521, Rope, which is an Alfred Hitchcock movie. This movie is about a group of college students that murder one of their classmates, hide that body in a chest in their own apartment, and then invite over a bunch of their friends and their professor, played by Jimmy Stewart, for a party to see if they can get away with hiding this body in plain sight. And this movie is it's a fake Warner because you couldn't make movies that long with that real. But again, this might be the movie that turned me around on like, fake Warners are okay. I'm coming around on it. And it's Hitchcock. Like, he is the master of suspense for a reason. And there are moments where the camera's just tracking just this chest. You're watching people interact with his chest, and what's in there, and you're wondering, are they gonna figure out what's in there too? And it's really good, and it's a really good Jimmy Stewart performance. It's more than just its gimmick.
Nice. Okay, my 655 is Fall Guy from 2024, The Fall Guy. And it's the Ryan Gosling, Emily Blunt film where he plays a stuntman and she plays the director of a movie. And I think they used to have a thing. And I really like this movie. It's just fun and like has great stunts, and it's just about making movies, and I liked it a lot. So The Fall Guy.
My number 654 is from 2015. It's the animated movie, The Peanuts movie. Super big fan of Charlie Brown. Okay, thanks for the backup, Kyle.
I liked that movie.
I like it too. I thought it was very charming. It's like compared to other kids movies, it's not flashy, and I think that's why it didn't do very well. Is because like you compare it to Minions or even Pixar movies, like they're very fast paced and like very like, ooh, look at the pretty colors, like most of them. Whereas Peanuts tries to be exactly what you remember the 2D version of Peanuts being, but with 3D, like in a 3D rendered environment. This was one that I think I didn't see in 3D, like 3D glasses 3D in the theaters, and I really wish I had, because I bet it would be awesome. It's one that doesn't lean on its 3D-ness. It presents like a 2D movie that happens to be rendered in 3D. And so I bet that looked amazing in 3D in a theater. That being said, if you've seen like the Peanuts Christmas special or Halloween special or any of those just classic cartoons from a long time ago, this is just a updated modern version of that without introducing annoying trappings or anything like that. It stays very faithful to what you would expect from the Peanuts crew. And I was charmed by it. The Peanuts movie.
Zach, I think your kids could watch this movie.
100%. Very innocuous movie.
Yeah, somehow this
sure.
wasn't really on my radar for them, but I'll totally watch it.
Yeah, totally. All right. Let's see. We are on 654. I just realized my 654 is the third time this director has been mentioned by me today.
Wow.
Okay. So this is this person's zone.
Yeah. So this director is Alan J. Pakula, who has directed The Parallax View, Sophie's Choice, and now my 654, All the President's Men.
Nice.
This movie stars Dustin Hoffman. Yeah, Dustin Hoffman and Robert Redford, Rip, who played Woodward and Bernstein. They were investigating the Watergate scandal with Nixon in 1972, and ultimately wrote the article that brought down Nixon, or that contributed to him resigning. It's a great movie, great performances. It's about the power of reporting. And it just seems so quaint now. You're like, man, things just happen in the open now and no one cares. Like in this movie, like, oh, I fired some people. My bad. I'll resign. Now it's like, who cares?
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm not trying to get political or dour, but.
All right. My 654 is a recent watch directed by Akiva Schaffer. It's The Naked Gun from 2025.
Yeah.
I thought this movie was really funny. I laughed the entire time watching it. I had a great time in the theater. I think that it's very, very funny. It captures the same spirit in an updated way of the originals, and I liked it quite a bit. So, The Naked Gun.
Nice. My 653 is from 2009. It's The Boat That Rocked, which is a movie I actually talked about recently on our top 10 forgotten films of 2009, which was episode 677 back in April. So I won't talk about it too much here. British comedy, feel-good comedy drama, I would say, about a couple of rapscallions who run a pirate rock radio station housed in a boat. That way they don't get caught broadcasting. And it's a lovely, funny film from the late aughts. The Boat That Rocked.
Nice. My 653 is my old 578 3 colors :red. So instead, I'm going to talk about my new 520, which is Babes. This is a 2024 comedy directed by Pamela Adlon, starring Alana Glazer and Michelle Buteau. They are two best friends who are both going through motherhood together. And this movie is hilarious. It's maybe the funniest movie I've watched recently. I recommend it's definitely gross out humor. So, keep that in mind. But if you're a parent and you can handle gross out humor, you should watch Babes, because I think this movie really hits it right on the head and is incredibly funny.
Cool. Yeah. Okay. My 653 is the original Roadhouse from 1989. We watched Roadhouse and The Roadhouse for an episode, and I just really, really liked the original Roadhouse. It's so fun. It's just like crazy and ridiculous, and Patrick Swayze's awesome in it, and it's just a cool movie, and I really like this one. So Roadhouse, worth a watch if you haven't seen it.
Nice. Two more. My episode 652 is from 2015. I'm so happy to finally talk about it because the hype has died down. It's The Lobster.
652.
Literally a movie Mark Hamill told me to watch.
Yeah.
Thanks to Kyle.
Yep.
And a little Twitter account that tracked whether or not I had watched The Lobster yet. A lot of lore attached to this movie. I don't want to talk much about it other than that it's like a black comedy with a lot of quirkiness, directed by Yorgos Lanthimos, right? I
Yeah.
believe. Yeah. And if you've seen his other movies, you might know a little bit of what you're in store with The Lobster. It's kind of a dour look at relationships and marriage and partnering up. But it was good and effective, and I'm glad I finally got to it by 6:52.
I peaked as a social media user with that account.
Yeah, you basically quit after that.
I can't do any better than getting Mark Hamill to get you to watch a movie. Like that's my greatest achievement with social media right there.
Not even a Mark Hamill movie, just a random movie.
It's a random movie. It worked.
That settles it.
Yep. Mark Hamill said so. All right. My 652 is my old 577 Haywire. So instead, my new 517 is Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. This is a Michel Gondry movie. This movie I've watched a couple times. Every time I watch it, I like it a little bit more. I know you guys hold this movie in very high esteem, and it's slowly moving up the charts for me. Great performances from Jim
I didn't hear
Carrey.
you say the movie.
Oh, Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless
okay.
Mind.
I might have just missed it.
That's okay.
I
That's all right.
appreciate it. Thank you.
Yep. Great performances from Jim Carrey, Kate Winslet, and I really love how Gondry captures dreams in this movie. It's quite effective and telling.
Yeah, those books in the bookstore and stuff. Very cool.
This is way too low.
Oh, it's so low. Yeah.
This is number 34 on my list.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Yeah, this is one of those movies where it's working its way up for me. I liked it, but I never like, oh my God, this is my favorite movie of all time. So,
it's number 24 for me.
Well, it's
top 50 for both of Zach and I. That's rare.
It almost made top 500 for me. Almost.
All right.
So.
Okay, well, my 652 is Sinners. This is the Michael B. Jordan movie, my second Michael B. Jordan movie of this section. And he's in it twice, so there's 3 Michael B. Jordans.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh.
And also my second Haley Steinfeld film in this section. And
anything else?
Yeah, there are some other connections, but I'll skip them. Okay.
Oh, this is also who's
the
the
Ryan
director?
Coogler film.
Another Ryan Coogler movie. Yep.
Ryan Coogler did Creed. So anyway, Sinners is about a pair of brothers who start a juke joint in the South when that wasn't a safe thing to do, and then it's also has some supernatural elements to it, and it's a good movie. It's a good time. So Sinners 2025.
Lock in, Zach. One more to go. You can do it.
Also with Sinners, did we talk about it on the episode? But like the financial, nothing to do with the movie, but like the way they designed the contracts for that movie are super interesting.
Oh yeah. How like
read up
Coogler
on it.
owns the rights to everything, and
It's like a timed thing.
Yes.
So like the studio has it for like a number of time, like a couple decades or something like that, and then full rights revert back to Ryan Coogler, and like supposedly power players in Hollywood were not excited about that idea that filmmakers might demand essentially these same type of deals for themselves over the long term.
it's like Sam Smith in One Night in Miami. I don't want a piece of the pie. I want the recipe.
Yeah, for sure. All right,
a good line.
651 from 1985, movie I caught up with this year. It's Ran. Speaking of Akira.
I think it's Ron.
Ron, sorry.
Run?
It's spelled Ran. My
Ran.
American pronunciation is Ran, but it's probably Ron. Yeah, directed by Kurosawa. I don't see Mifune in this one though. Was he in Ron?
No.
I don't think so.
He was in the 16 movies nobody's seen from it.
What?
Kurosawa. I'm
You're
joking.
crazy.
I'm joking. He was in Seven Samurai and most of the famous ones too.
Yeah.
He was in
Rashomon. He's in everything.
Yojimbo,
Throne of Blood.
Senjuro, Throne of Blood. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Anyway, this is like a epic war movie, historical war film. Action movie. Lots of samurais in this. Really good. I don't know what to say about this other than if you like Kurosawa movies, you've probably seen this one, but I recently saw it and enjoyed it.
Which Shakespeare is this? Is this King Lear or is this
King Lear,
okay? Yeah,
according to Wikipedia.
With the sisters or the daughters and everything.
I have no basis for King Lear. I've never seen
Okay.
any other King Lear things, but according to Wikipedia, King Lear.
This is King Lear. Perfect. All right. This is our last one, right? We're 651.
Yeah.
We're done. Okay,
This
perfect.
is it.
So my 651 is a new movie to this list. It is 1960s The Apartment. This is a Billy Wilder joint. Billy Wilder is one of my favorite directors and writers. This movie stars Jack Lemmon, Shirley MacLaine, and Fred McMurray. Jack Lemmon is a clerk at an insurance company in downtown New York. And he has an apartment that is close to the office. So his bosses essentially use his apartment as a love nest. Fred McMurray plays his boss just so they can have their affairs while they're at the office, don't have to go home or anything because the rest of them all live out in the suburbs. And this is a way for Jack Lemmon's character to sort of get more successful in the company because he can curry favor with his bosses until one of his bosses starts having an affair with Shirley MacLaine, who Jack Lemmon starts to fall for also. So this becomes a love triangle, and he is weighing his career versus this woman he falls for. It's a very fun movie. It's definitely a comedic movie. It's a romance movie. And it's Billy Wilder, who's an incredible writer director. And it's worth checking out. Maybe not the most popular of his movies, but still one that's talked about.
I'm surprised it's this low for you, honestly.
I am too. I've only seen it one time. I think that's one reason why. So it could probably bump up over time. But yeah, it's a little low for me.
Yeah, for sure.
I've never seen it. I
Okay.
need to go deeper into Billy Wilder for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Zach.
All right. I'll leave that there. My number 651 is Ali: Fear Eats the Soul. This is a German film from 1974 by Fassbender. And this movie is so good. It's so good. It's about a widow woman who is lonely, and so she goes to an I forget if it's like Iranian bar or something with like an Arab immigrant, and she strikes up a friendship with a younger immigrant, and then their friendship turns into a relationship, and then they get married, and they're like totally in love, but Germany in 1970 doesn't like having these interracial May-December relationships.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's them coming to terms with like what the rest of the world thinks about their relationship and like how that affects them. It's shot really well. It's very introspective and interesting and well acted, and it's really great. And it was a movie I was excited to watch, excited that I had watched. And then Fassbender has a lot of really interesting films. You've probably seen World on a Wire on a bunch of lists. That one pops up all the time, and it's got a really memorable poster. But I really liked Ali: Fear Eats the Soul.
Nice. I'm seeing on Wikipedia that movie was included by Martin Scorsese on his list of 39 essential foreign films for young filmmakers.
Why
There
39?
you go.
He couldn't find one more.
I guess not.
He's not gonna fake it if there's
gonna
only
force it.
39 that are essential.
Yeah.
He was like, Ron, not worth it.
Hey, that might be.
Well,
on
is
the
it
list. You never know.
Is it essential? I don't think it's essential. People were making films before Ron, so they obviously could do it.
Why is Ali essential?
I can't tell you. You have to experience it.
Okay. Well, that's Marty myself.
Yep, for sure. All right. Well, thank you for joining us for episode 699. Next episode 700, we will do another 50 films each to round out our top 700 with 100 new movies. Technically, we talked about 149 movies in this one because y'all doubled up on Killers of the Flower Moon.
That's the only one we doubled up on?
That's the only
Another
one
round also.
Was it another
Yeah.
round? Okay,
Yep.
so
Another
148 movies we talked about on this episode. If you don't count Kyle's references to movies that he moved around or whatever.
I mean, I just have seen better movies,
Yeah,
so
for
let's
sure.
keep bumping it up. Yeah.
Did no
Well,
one
we-
else mention Cars 2? Was I the only one?
No. Maybe when I get to like my top 2,500, we will get to episode 2,500. Then Cars 2.
How
might
many
come
movies
in.
have you seen?
2,700.
I
Okay.
gave Cars 2 1 star on Letterboxd. That's how much I don't like that movie. I rarely give 1 stars to things.
1 star.
Yeah, I think I gave it 1.5.
I did not like it. I was
Nope.
literally I have to be angry at a movie to rate it that low.
Guys, it's a Michael Caine movie.
They
Emily Mortimer's in it.
they talk about murdering other cars. Like it is the most violent Pixar movie I've ever seen.
What? I'm a little concerned about car overpopulation.
Anyway,
Me
thank you
too.
for joining us for $6.99. We
Wait,
appreciate
so
your listening.
Zach,
What?
your solution to overpopulation is genocide?
No, it's not my solution.
Okay.
It was their solution, and
But it concerns you.
it's eco-friendly is all I'm saying.
All right, Zach.
Wait, eco-friendly?
Genocide is eco-friendly.
Eco-friendly.
No, not eco-friendly. I mean, it reverberates back.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice.
Just I'm glad we can clarify that.
Before we go, video version, check it out on YouTube. Support us on Patreon. Leave us an Apple Podcast review or send us an email. Links in the description to do any of all of those things. Also, you can follow us on social media at Cinereelists, or you can follow me on my personal Blue Sky or Letterboxd account at EOJRB.
You can follow me on Twitter or Letterboxd at Shaubin.
You can find me at Letterboxd at Peter SKB.
We'll see you next time for the second half of this 2-part 14 episode series. Until then, keep it cinereal.
You're still here? It's over. Go home. Go.